And right behind them, winners of 6 in succession. Here come the Razorbacks of Arkansas. Welcome you, everybody, to Death Valley. I'm Vern Lundquist, along with Todd Blackledge and Jill Arrington. Welcome to Baton Rouge and continued happy holidays as we play football here in the SEC. A lot on the line in this one, and it's very easy to define. Here are the current Western Division standings. Auburn has the lead with 5-2, Arkansas 4-3, and LSU 3-3 record. But LSU does control its own destiny. Auburn will win the division if they defeat LSU here next week. LSU will win and go to the SEC title game with victories today and next Saturday. Arkansas needs a little help. They need to win today, and then they've got to hope that LSU defeats Auburn next week. And Todd, a lot on the line, a great rivalry this has become, and LSU is riding the efforts of Rohan Davey and Josh Reed.
They're throwing the ball extremely well, and the thing you have to remember, Rohan Davey only making his 14th career start at quarterback. But good news for Tiger fans, he's been on a roll his last 2 games. 3 weeks ago against Alabama, he set single game records with 35 completions, 528 yards. In his last game out, he became the single season record holder at LSU. The key for him is getting off to a good start and being comfortable in the game. And if he does that, he's going to find his favorite target, Josh Reed, early and often. In that Alabama game, all Josh Reed did was catch 19 for just under 300 yards. He leads the nation in reception yards per game, and he's one of 3 finalists for the Biletnikoff Award. If you want to slow down LSU, you better find a way to make Rohan Davey uncomfortable early in the game.
Well, the Arkansas Razorbacks got off to just a miserable start, 1-3, 0-3 in conference play, and all of a sudden they found themselves with a freshman named Matt Jones.
He has been the spark for the Arkansas offense, and he's a guy who's 6'5". He's a freshman from Fort Smith, Arkansas, and all he does is make big plays. Now, he doesn't start, but you better believe he'll play a significant number of plays. He averages 8.5 yards per carry. Last week in a game against Mississippi State, when they needed a big play, he had this 43-yard run on a quarterback draw to set up the winning touchdown. Now, bad news for Nick Saban and the rest of the teams they're going to play. He's throwing it pretty good, too. This 61-yard completion proves that when Matt Jones comes into the game, he doesn't just run the option. How much of a difference has he made? Take a look at the improvement in those numbers. If LSU hopes to beat Arkansas today, they better find a way to contain Matt Jones.
We've been blessed with really good weather this afternoon. Temperature of 77 degrees. A wind out of the south at 16 miles per hour. There is a front expected through here, but probably not until later on this evening. I think we're going to have perfect playing conditions. And a crowd that will exceed 90,000 gathered here. Arkansas will kick off. David Carlton will do the kickoff chores for the Razorbacks as LSU has won the toss and elected to receive. Devery Henderson and Dominic Davis are the 2 deep men for the Tigers. This one will come left, and Dominic Davis, number 31, with the return. Across the 20, and the tackle made at the 23-yard line. Tussle continues after the whistles had and go. Now let's go down to the 3rd member of our commentary team. Here's Jill Arrington.
Well, Vern, they call this game the Battle for the Boot, named because it resembles the shape of a boot, the 2 states coming together. SEC Commissioner Roy Kramer, he wanted this game to be a key pivotal game when it comes to the SEC West, and, well, he got his wish because it's an important game when it comes to the championship. Well, this series started back in 1996. LSU leads it 3-2, but this must be the most expensive, fanciest, heaviest trophy. It weighs 175 pounds, and it's made of 14-karat gold. So the leader, the winner who wins this trophy will be having to use all the teammates to put it above their head, huh?
I think so, Jill. Thanks. On 1st down and 10, as you look at Rohan Davey, a single season throwing record, 2,659 yards. That surpassed a mark set by Tommy Hodson, 14 touchdowns and only 5 interceptions. 2nd down and 5. Brandon Tofield is the only setback. Davey looks to his right, fires it out for Josh Reed. And Reed makes the catch in front of Lawrence Richardson. That will be enough for the 1st down. offensive line for the Tigers, Reed, Peterman, Ben Wilkerson, true freshman, Pierce, and Baggett. Tofield, Solomon Lee in the backfield, Jarrell Myers and Josh Reed, the wideouts. The tight end is Robert Royal.
9 yards and first down. It's 38-yard
Key for Rohan Davey the last couple weeks has been he's gotten off to such a quick start. And Jimbo Fisher, offensive coordinator, has done a nice job of getting him some easy throws early, because when he gets in a rhythm and gets comfortable, he is as good as there is in this league.
Comes right again. This is a little behind Jarrell Myers. Incomplete. Second down and 10.
Incomplete, intended for Jerome Myers.
And let's take a look at the Arkansas defense. Defensive line, it's Carlos Hall, Brooks, Kurt Davis, and Raymond House. The man in the middle, Jermaine Petty, is just having a marvelous season. And in the secondary, Richardson, Hamlin, Eddie Jackson, and a freshman, Ahmad Carroll.
They're like a baseball team. They've been really strong right up the middle. Jermaine Brooks inside, Jermaine Petty, and in the back, Ken Hamlin, the free safety, all playing great football.
Joe DiMaggio, a backup tight end, is in at fullback spot now. And here's Tofield. He's gotten loose. There are no flags, and Tofield goes the distance.
He's their best tackler. He's their best defender, and he usually makes this play. He's in the hole. He's unblocked. He can't make the play right there on Tofield. And a lot of times when you commit so many people to the line of scrimmage, if they get by the first line of defense, it's off to the touchdown. And that's exactly what Tofield did.
There's also an Arkansas player down back between the 35 and 40-yard lines. Looks like Eddie Jackson. That was well away from the effort of Tofield, and Jackson's going to be assisted off. 16 touchdowns for the year now, one away from the school record set by Charles Alexander in 1977. LeBrandon Tofield. And he's been nicked much of the season. He's not been healthy for much of the year.
But he makes a huge difference for this team when he's in there. He changes the personality of this team.
John Corbello with the extra point. It's good. An electrifying start for Nick Saban and the LSU Tigers. A 62-yard run. And LeBrandon Tofield's effort has given LSU a 7-0 lead. A stunned Arkansas defense gathered on the Razorback sideline. They'll get a rest now, and here's the kickoff from Corbello, taken by DeCorey Birmingham. And he's loose. Across the 40 out to the 46.
Big for Arkansas, Vern. Very big. Get an immediate response to the big touchdown on the road. Exactly what Houston Nutt wanted. Give his offense good position to start off this first drive.
The true freshman, DeCorey Birmingham. And here come the Razorbacks of head coach Houston Nutt. Nutt in his 4th season as the head coach, and Zach Clark, sophomore from Fayetteville, and he'll alternate with Matt Jones throughout the afternoon.
No set pattern. It's just a feel thing with Houston Nutt.
Brett Talley, number 20, opens at tailback. He'll rotate with Cedric Cobbs at that tailback spot today. Talley, the smaller of the two men, but he's had a wonderful year. The offensive line, Money, White, Sandlin, Bokerman, and the real key at right tackle, Sean Andrews. Here, Talley and Pierce in the backfield. Wilson, Richard Smith, the wideouts, and Nathan Ball is the tight end. Second down, 8 at the 49. Clark with 3-man split out, 2 to the left, 1 to the right, and the chains. Draw play. And a very slow developing draw play.
Nice play by Lavallee.
He's one of the 4 down linemen for LSU. He's joined by Kyle Kipps. Howard Green gets a start today for Dawson and Jarvis Green. The linebackers, Trev Falk and Brady James, the most celebrated of the 3. And in the secondary, Damian James, Ryan Clark, Lejeune, who is playing very well, gets the start.
Here's Lavallee. He's been out for the last couple weeks with a hamstring injury. He just takes up space and then fights off the double team to make the play on the draw.
Play fake to Talley. Clark, half roll. Looks deep right side. He's got a man open. Nice. Catch is made by George Wilson, who makes his 34th catch. That is a new freshman single-season record for Arkansas. 34.
When Arkansas throws now, they don't do a whole lot of fancy stuff. It's either a one-man route or a two-man route, and this time Wilson just turns hookfin around, and it's an excellent throw by Zach Clark. And I think Arkansas, to win today, is going to have to make some big plays throwing the football, and that's a good start for Zach Clark.
And as you said, they'll rotate Matt Jones. He's in there right now. Hands it off. It goes to Talley, who goes right. Matt Jones, the freshman quarterback. More of a runner than a passer. Yep. Zach Clark is the guy who throws the ball for them.
But as Nick Saban told us yesterday, he throws it a little better than I'm comfortable with. I mean, it'd be nice if you know when he came in they could only run the option, but he actually has a strong arm. He's a big kid, 6'5", 220 pounds, has great speed.
Clocked at 4.4 in the 40-yard dash. Second down and 10. Here's the option. Clark pitches. Nicely done. Down the sidelines to Corey Birmingham, number 32, the man who returned their kickoff out to near midfield. That's a gain of 12.
Birmingham carried the ball.
Zach Clark, the starter. And look at the comparison of the two.
Yeah, the biggest thing right there is the rushing yards. I mean, he's on pace to break Quinn Grovey's record for the most yards rushing by an Arkansas quarterback. But he's getting better as a thrower, but he is really dangerous in the open field as a runner.
Zach Clark back in. Cedric Cobbs makes his first appearance at tailback. He's the deep back in the eye. Cobbs comes left. He's fresh from a 3-touchdown effort in a come-from-behind win over Mississippi State.
Yeah, played his best game by far last week. You know, I've never been a big fan of a two-quarterback system. Never have liked it. But this is the only situation where I think there is some merit to it in an Arkansas situation because Zach Clark and Matt Jones offer a completely different look. And so when one of them changes places, the defense has twice as much to prepare for in the week. I think that's the best way to do it. If you're going to play two guys, don't call the same plays. Don't run the same offense with two guys. That makes it, that doesn't do you any good. But this system is pretty effective.
Cobbs and Lancaster on second down in the backfield. Play fake. Zach Clark goes right. And one hops it at the feet of Richard Smith at the 5-yard line. That'll bring up third down.
Intended for number 8, Richard Smith.
One thing you have to say about this system is a lot of credit belongs to Zach Clark because he's the older guy. He's the guy who wanted to be the starter and work for the starting job, and his attitude and his willingness to work with Matt Jones and help him, I think, has been a key part to this team's chemistry and a key part to their current win streak.
3rd and 5. Birmingham is the deep back now. Here's the option. Jones tries to break the tackle. Can't, but he might have a first down.
When you look at this guy, he does not look like he would be elusive because he's 6'5", he's a long strider, but watch as he comes down and cuts back in, you just can't get him on the ground. I mean, he doesn't look like a real shifty guy, but he breaks tackles and he makes people miss.
First and goal.
Big, long stride. It looks kind of like a slinky. I mean, he's all over the place. But he has just made so many big plays for this Arkansas offense. It's unbelievable.
And he's closing in on the single-season quarterback rushing record. First down, power I formation. Play fake Jones. He's being pursued by Lionel Thomas. Now look at how elusive he is. It's exactly what you were talking about. There's a touchdown. It's just amazing.
It really is. And that was an excellent call by Houston Nutt because that was a design pass. And that kind of breaks your tendencies. You're expecting Matt Jones to run it down there, so you call pass. It's going to be a bootleg out this way, but again, it's all Matt Jones. Well defended by LSU. There he gets away from 1, 2. Still looking to throw. A third tackle broken, then the big body into the end zone.
Brandon O'Donohoe with the attempted tying extra point. It is good.
I've just never seen a young guy make so many big plays, and he's so unflappable. He's a true freshman, but he plays with tremendous poise and maturity. Another touchdown for Matt Jones.
Matt Jones didn't play in the first 2 games. When he made his first appearance, it was as a wide receiver.
Yeah, his story is really interesting. I mean, in high school, he did the same thing. As a junior, he was at Van Buren High School. He caught 30 passes and saw some spot time at quarterback. Then he transferred to Fort Smith Northside as a senior, played quarterback, and he's played both here at Arkansas. But what an athlete.
This one will come out to the 20, touchback.
First down for the Tigers.
And a marvelous response from the Arkansas Razorbacks to Tofield's touchdown. Well, there's a bright orange monster over the stadium today, the Monster.com blimp, providing us with great views of the action. Nice day for flying. A little breezy.
I landed here Wednesday night. That thing was parked in the airport, right across from where we landed. Saw it all lit up at night.
Scary?
A little scary.
Monster. First and 10. 7-7 ball game. 9:36 remaining in the opening quarter. Tofield. Davey is in the spread. Hands it off to LeBrandon Tofield, who comes right. Nice defensive play by Caleb Miller at the 43, the linebacker, to make the tackle.
Earlier in the year, Arkansas really struggled stopping the run. I mean, they were better against the pass than they were against the run. Now, the last couple weeks, they've been a little bit better. They've actually gone to more 4-man defensive lines than 3-man, and 3-man is more of a pass defense. They're 4, a little tougher on defense. That's coordinator John Thompson. But the problem is they do like to shift people around, move people around, and sometimes they leave gaps open like they did on that Tofield touchdown.
Second down 8. Here's Davey looking right all the way. Little slant pattern to the freshman Michael Clayton, who is the second leading receiver on this team. He's a man of enormous promise.
Tremendous athlete, big target. You know, that's kind of in vogue right now in college football. The tall wide receivers. Michael Clayton, also a basketball player at 6'4". And that was a blitz right into the face of Rohan Davey. He saw it, he read it, stood in there and made the nice throw. And bad news for Arkansas because Davey is comfortable right now running the offense.
That's a first down LSU. Here's play fake. Davey slips and falls back at the 20 as he tried to make his cut. And Carlos Hall was coming upfield, had pretty good pressure and containment.
Davey carried. Slip.
We were joking with Rohan a little bit yesterday when we visited. It looked like he's dropped a little bit of weight. And he said, yeah, he's down 10. And he kind of turned and modeled for us and said, don't I look pretty? And, he did look good yesterday. So that time his foot just went out from under it.
Well, the listed weight is 229. I think somebody made use of a light scale.
And he had Mama cooking for him yesterday morning, too. So
second down across the middle. That one could be picked off. It is. The interception's made by Tony Bua, number 22. His second pick of the season and the first turnover of the ball game.
Well, Tony Bua is right here. He's going to get the pick, but watch Jermaine Petty with the pressure right up the middle. He's not going to get a sack, but he drives his man right back into the face of Rohan Davey, and Davey forced that one into coverage. Jermaine Brooks with great pressure, and Bua with the interception.
So from the 34, Tony Bua's interception has given the Hogs a first down and 10 and a chance to go on top.
I got my Jermaines mixed up.
It's easy to do.
As long as I don't call him Jermaine Jackson, I'll be okay.
Deep in the corner and behind the intended receiver, Richard Smith.
I like the idea, though. I like going right at him. You get the turnover, you're in good field position. The attack mentality of Houston Nutt, head coach who also doubles as the offensive coordinator.
And we'll see what he has in mind for second down and 10. 7-7 ball game, opening quarter of play. And Arkansas goes from the spread. Sparky Hamilton's on. Handed off to Fred Talley. And Talley is tackled at the 35-yard line.
Talley around the ball.
Kenny Sandlin and Trev Falk having a little post-Thanksgiving conversation.
Well, both these guys have been excellent leaders for their respective teams. Trev Falk just a junior, Sandlin a senior.
Picked up a yard.
was the starter at guard, moved over to center, and part of real solidifying this offense was Sandlin's move over.
Now they put Sandlin at center. Here's Jones on third down. Dances right. Gets by Kyle. Kicks. Nailed. Fourth down. Trev Falk fired up, no doubt, after that conversation with Kenny Sandlin.
I think this is a case where Trev Falk is responsible for watching the quarterback. He's not in coverage. He's responsible for shadowing or spying on Matt Jones. And as soon as he saw his crease, he ran through it and made the tackle. Matt Jones, looking for a receiver, doesn't see Trev Falk till too late.
That was the first sack of the season for Trev Falk. And Arkansas elects to go for it rather than pooch punt or try the field goal. It would be a lengthy field goal effort. 4th and 12. Clark. Right side. Good coverage. Incomplete. Randall Gay, number 21.
That's tough. 4th and 12. And that's a lot of yards to get on a 4th down play. And Randall Gay with excellent coverage. Arkansas did not have enough guys on the line of scrimmage. They had a 4-wide receiver set, but Randall Gay, now the pressure from Jarvis Green was effective too, but Randall Gay in perfect position and got his hand on the football. A nice stop by the LSU defense after their offense turned it over.
Zach Clark with a conversation upstairs, and incomplete pass. Here's a quick clip, and it is knocked down. Incomplete.
Yeah, Jamar Gallen coming off the edge got a hand on the football. This is a very aggressive Arkansas defense. They don't play standard kind of defenses. You'll see 3-man line, 4-man line, but constant movement. People moving in different gaps. They bring people from different spots. They're not a big physical defense, but they really play aggressively, and they play well together.
On 2nd down and 10, DiMaggio, the tight end, in the fullback position. And off to Dominic Davis, number 31, who's giving Tofield a rest. He's stopped for no gain. Well, on Sunday afternoon, doubleheader for you. The NFL on CBS. First game at 1 o'clock Eastern features Pittsburgh at Tennessee. In the second game, Oakland goes into New York to take on the Giants, plus other regional games. And it all begins with the NFL Today, Sunday at 12 noon Eastern time on CBS.
3rd down.
3rd and 9. Rohan Davey, the quarterback.
LSU the best in the SEC on 3rd down, converting over 50%.
On 3rd and 9, Arkansas blitzes. Here's Davey across the middle. Josh Reed. Incomplete or intercepted? Intercepted. There's a flag down as well.
Holding on the offense. The penalty is declined. 1st down.
That one is picked off by Bo Mosley, number 25. And Davey, who does not throw many picks, only 5 all year, has thrown 2 in the first quarter.
And the problem for Davey here is he never saw Mosley. Mosley's going to drift back in, and all he's doing is he's watching this side of the formation. Rohan Davey is focused in on Josh Reed. Now, he has his man beat, but he never sees Mosley coming from the backside. Not something you would expect a senior quarterback to do, but again, the point must be made. He is only starting his 14th game, so really he's almost like a sophomore in terms of starting experience.
On 1st down, Cedric Cobbs gets the handoff from Jones. 2nd time in this quarter, Arkansas starts inside the 50. And the Razorbacks now tied with Auburn with forced turnovers for the year.
And they've done what they needed to do. Not only get the turnovers, but they've been able to make Rohan Davey a little uncomfortable here in the first half. It looked like Davey was settling in early, was on target with his throws, but the last couple possessions, Arkansas able to rattle him into some bad throws.
On 2nd down 9, here's Jones with the option left. He had runs of 41 and 45 yards last week in the victory over Mississippi State, including a key one that helped set up the winning touchdown. Time now for our Exxon and Mobil virtual playbook.
Well, it's about Matt Jones running the football, and it's the option out of the 4 wide receiver shotgun set. We haven't seen it yet, but it's really the thing that makes him most dangerous because it puts his guy out in space on one defender, and when he keeps it, he usually makes something good happen. Again, a lot of big plays running the football by Matt Jones.
Here's the option right, pitches back to Birmingham. Nice open field tackle made by Ryan Clark, number 2. And that will give Arkansas a 3rd and long.
One of the advantages, actually 2 advantages that LSU had in preparing for this game. The first is they had an extra week off. And so you get to watch this Arkansas offense and have extra prep time for the option. The second thing is they played Alabama a few weeks ago, and Alabama ran the option a lot with Tyler Watts, and they did a nice job defending the option. So they should be pretty well prepared for this offensive attack.
Zach Clark back at quarterback on 2nd down and 6 from the 34. Caught by Brady James. It'll be 3rd down now and long.
Brady James tackled him.
Brady James, 85 tackles for the season. He and Trev Falk, a really terrific 2 linebacker set. Jeremy Lawrence is the 3rd man, doesn't get as much publicity.
And Gary Gibbs specifically said Brady James, he expected him to have a big game today, making plays from the backside against the option.
3rd and 7 in a 7-7 ball game. And again, the audible now from Zach Clark. LSU will rush 4. The handoff Cobbs. He's got a big hole. Clark tries to get him and does, but a huge gain for Cedric Cobbs.
Really a nice job by Zach Clark, too. Getting the audible called. He saw the strong safety cheating up on the opposite side. An audible to a run to the left. And it was well blocked by Arkansas. LSU expecting pass all the way. Their ends got up the field. And Cedric Cobb, who is better, as big as he is, he's actually better in space like that than he is in between the tackles. But a nice run for the 1st down.
Gain of 22 and a 1st down 10. They'll go from the eye from the 13-yard line. Draw play, Cobbs. Well defense by LSU. Zach Clark. Let's get more on Zach from Jill Arrington.
Well, Vern, just like Todd was saying earlier about this dual quarterback team effort, the 2 quarterbacks working together to change the pace of the game, well, Zach's just fine with that. He says naturally you'd love to be the guy who takes all the snaps, but it works. It's like we have 2 different offenses. It's been real fun the way things have fallen into place, and they sure have. Since Matt's been in, I think Arkansas's won 5 in a row, so they work well together.
Yeah. And I can't emphasize enough, if Zach Clark didn't have a good attitude and a humble attitude about handling this, it would never have worked, and it would have blown up in Houston Nutt's face. But his attitude and maturity has helped this guy be a factor for the Razorbacks, Matt Jones.
Zach Clark grew up in Fayetteville. His dad, an assistant on the baseball team, so he grew up a Hog fan.
Yeah. He probably learned how to call the Hogs when he was 2 or 3. I'm still trying to learn.
Yeah, but you're getting better at it. Time call. Back at Tiger Stadium in Baton Rouge. Late 1st quarter, 7-7 ball game. Arkansas with a chance to go out on top. They've got a 2nd down and 9. Richard Smith, Gerald Howard, and Sparky Hamilton, all 3 to the right side.
Watch the quarterback draw here, too. Spread the defense out.
Blitz coming, and here is the quarterback draw. That'll set up 3rd down. Trev Falk, the middle linebacker, with the diagnosis of the play.
Ryan Clark made the tackle.
It's good, solid defense. Watch Falk right here, eyeballing the quarterback.
3rd down.
There's the fake to Cobbs. He slips the block of Lazarius White in there for the tackle. It's good linebacker play by Trev Falk.
3rd and 7 at the 10 in the 7-7 game. Mark Pierce and Cedric Cobbs in the backfield. Twin receivers set right on 3rd down. And Zach Clark back in. With time. And it is dropped inside the 5 by The tight end, Jason Peters. That'll bring on the field goal unit as Trev Falk defends.
It's a nice idea, though, by Houston Nutt, because normally they don't release the tight ends much. They keep them in to block. They run two-man routes, and that time they released the tight end, and he was open, just couldn't make the catch.
Now here's a young man who's struggling. Brennan O'Donohoe, 1 for 3 in the win over Mississippi State, and he did not have a good warm-up.
No, he did not.
27-yard field goal. Cuts it inside the right upright. This one was good. And the Arkansas Razorbacks convert the interception into a 3-point lead. Time now for our SEC moment presented by Sonic. We're going to take you back to 1966. Arkansas entered the game against LSU with a 22-game win streak. They took a 7-0 lead when quarterback John Brittenham hit Bobby Crockett for 19. But LSU got 2 scoring runs in the second period from running back Joe Labruzzo, who was voted the game's outstanding back. LSU held on to win it 14-7, snapping an Arkansas 22-game win streak.
This place is too quiet. I mean, this is a huge game for LSU, and I'm surprised that the crowd is not a little bit more involved. I think it's a combination of 2 things. 2 turnovers by Rohan Davey and too much turkey. I think the tryptophan is still kicked in with a lot of these fans. It's an early start, day after Thanksgiving. They need to get involved.
David Carlton with the kick. Dominic Davis takes it 4 yards deep and elects to run it out. Breaks the tackle. Flag is down. And so is Davis at the 21. This one probably is going to come back and be marked off half the distance. David Carlton, the true freshman, who does the kickoff chores for Arkansas.
Blocking the back on the return team. Half the distance from the spot of the foul. First down.
And that one will be spotted at the 7-yard line.
First down, Tigers.
It's a Fun for All Friday on CBS. Don't miss the network premiere of the Rugrats movie with never-before-seen footage. It's the Rugrats movie tonight on CBS. I bet your kids will be watching that.
I bet they won't. We're trying to work on attitude with those guys, man.
Well, there goes your Promo of the Year award. Out the right side to the 15. Tony Bua, number 22, makes the tackle on Tofield.
Important response and possession right now for LSU, and it starts with Rohan Davey. He's got to settle himself down, shake off those interceptions, and then get this offense going again. They need to possess the football a little bit and make some plays, and that was a good start with the run by Tofield.
8 yards. Second down, 2.
Second down and 3 with 13 seconds to go in the first quarter of play. Backs in the eye. Davey hands it off, and Tofield.
Tough run.
Nick Saban telling us earlier in the year when Tofield was nicked by injuries, he just has such a presence and makes such a difference when he is able to play. That's the end of the first quarter with our score 10-7. We'll return to Baton Rouge right after this message and a word from your local station. We begin the start of the second quarter, 10-7 from Tiger Stadium in Baton Rouge. LSU with the ball. Rohan Davey has thrown 2 interceptions thus far in the ball game. He'll keep it on the ground to Tofield. Brandon Tofield tackled by another 22 on 22. And he's down at the 22. Vern Lundquist along with Todd Blackledge and Jill Arrington. It was LeBrandon Tofield who opened this game up with a 62-yard run, but a very, very significant response from Arkansas.
And they responded right away. They had the 47-yard kickoff return, then they went right down and answered with the touchdown. And in doing so, they kind of have taken the crowd out of the ball game. The 2 turnovers by Davey have helped, but Arkansas really has kind of seized the momentum of the game and made the crowd a non-factor to this point.
Tofield will go in motion, heading wide right on 2nd and 7. Here's Davey, looks to the right, almost picked off again. Wow.
He's not comfortable. Rohan Davey is not comfortable. Now, he stared that one down. He is wanting the completion so bad. And Eddie Jackson just read it the whole way. He knows he's going there, and Eddie Jackson broke on the football and almost came up with the third Arkansas interception. So what this tells me is that Arkansas is squatting on the routes. Their cornerbacks are starting to sit down on the short routes. So if LSU wants to attack throwing it, they're going to have to maybe try to throw it deep down the field and stretch this defense.
3rd and 7. And Davey will go from the shotgun. Josh Reed with but one catch so far in the game. They come to the right side. Jarrell Myers makes the grab. In front of Lawrence Richardson. That's a 14-yard gain and an LSU first down.
And a huge relief for Rohan Davey. I mean, he had to get that next completion, and he gets it right here. Again, he's looking all the way that way, but Myers, old reliable. You know, everybody talks about Reed, everybody talks about the newcomer Michael Clayton, and all Jarrell Myers does is catch 4, 5, 6 balls a game.
Has had 5 in each of the last 2 games, makes the big grab on 3rd down here. 1st and 10, blitz. Oh, Davey still got it. Nifty play. He's out to the 40-yard line. Tackle made by Ahmad Carroll. Well, you see that from Matt Jones. You don't expect it from Rohan Davey.
It's just a tendency buster. Here's Bua. He's going to come in, and he is totally faked out by Davey because your tendency is he's not going to keep that. He's going to give it to Tofield every time, and Tony Bua, going on LSU's tendencies, totally abandoned the quarterback.
That's a gain of 4 for Davey. 2nd down and 6. 10-7 as LSU moves from their own 40-yard line. 3 wide receivers right. Now here's the handoff to Tofield. Breaks a tackle. Nice run to the 50-yard line. First down LSU.
What a run like this does is it fires up everybody on the field, on the sidelines, because it's nothing but heart and toughness. He breaks tackles. He finds extra yardage. That's what I mean about a guy being able to change the personality of a team. You finesse people by throwing the football, and then you give it to this guy, and he adds a toughness to your football team. And that kind of a run inspires everybody, most particularly these offensive linemen up front.
Tofield gets a rest. Dominic Davis on as the deep back in the eye, and motion in the offensive line. Looked like Rodney Reed, number 60.
Before the ball was snapped, movement by the offensive line, 5 yards. Still first down.
That was Reed. Well, we invite you to kick off the holiday season with great gift ideas and licensed NCAA fan gear. Just click on Shop at cbs.sportsline.com or AOL keyword CBS Sportsline.
Well, I'll tell you who's really playing well right now for LSU. Up front is Dwayne Pierce, the right guard, senior, 6'3", 315-pounder, and he's the most physical guy. He's right in here, the right guard, number 78, really playing well right now for the Tigers.
1st and 15, back at the 45. Here comes the blitz again. Davey. And that was the presence of Carlos Hall, who had dropped back in coverage. And the pass incomplete.
I mentioned Dwayne Pierce. Watch him on this play. Watch him pick up the blitz. There he is right in here, the right guard. Arkansas trying to bring pressure. Hello. Just takes his linebacker down. Davey goes down too. Sasha Lancaster. And Carlos Hall gets his hands on the football. Again, a very unorthodox defense. They bring people from different places, different directions, try to create confusion and try to take you out of what you do.
On 2nd and 15, they bring 3. Davey manages to avoid Carlos Hall. Jarrell Myers with the catch at the 46-yard line. That's going to bring up 3rd and 6. Corey Jihar. Harris makes the tackle. Well, Carlos Hall, no question, his best game of the season against South Carolina.
You know, and he's kind of had a bad rap as being an underachiever for his whole career because he's got great talent, you know, the strength, the speed, the vertical jump. He really had his coming out game against South Carolina, and then the block in the rock, the block that won the game. And Carlos Hall, ever since then, has played outstanding. He's only got 1 sack, but he's really made a difference. He's got a lot of pressures on the quarterback and had his presence felt.
That was a win that turned things around. Here's Clayton behind the back grab. And we'll see if that's enough for the first down. He's spending a lot of the season doing that.
What an effort by Clayton. This was a poorly thrown ball by Rohan Davey. The crowd is booing because of the spot, and I think they might be right. Watch Michael Clayton reach back, a crossing route, reach back with his left hand. That's incredible. And then the spot right on the yard line, or just short of the yard line, 4th and short for LSU.
And they will go for it from the 40.
Sneak it.
Tofield is the deep back, and Tofield gets the handoff. Oh, boy, what a collision. Jermaine Petty, number 40, who has another play of the season in his resume for the year.
You know, I think they got it, but I just don't know why you don't sneak this. I mean, you're bigger and more physical up front. Why take the ball deep into the I formation? They're going to give it to Tofield, but he's 8 yards off the ball when he gets the football. You got a quarterback that weighs 240 pounds. I think you sneak that. I think the defensive front from Arkansas won that battle.
Well, they did not get a generous spot here either.
They didn't get it.
It was Jermaine Petty, the senior, who had the tackle on Ziegler in that 7-overtime game to prevent the 2-point tying effort. He's just having an outstanding season. Nice effort by the Arkansas defense on the change of possession time called. 10:59 to go first half. We welcome you back to Tiger Stadium, Baton Rouge. Arkansas with the ball and the lead 10-7. And they will go from the shotgun. Here's the handoff to Fred Talley coming right. Oh, no. Here he goes. Completely fooled me. Here's Jones. He's got the great speed, and Gay gets up with him. What a sleight of hand in the offensive backfield to start the play.
The poise to sell the fake. I mean, it takes poise to sell the fake, to hang with it. Watch the fake to Talley. Hang in there, stick that ball all the way in, and then pull it out. And then the speed. He doesn't look this fast on film, but when you get on the field, you just can't catch him. And Randall Gay, luckily, able to knock him out on the 6-yard line.
That is a 54-yard gain for Matt Jones. 1st and goal, Arkansas. This time they give it to Cedric Cobbs, and he's tackled between the 1 and 2.
LSU is stunned. I mean, they look stunned on defense to me. They're not flying around. That big play really hurt them.
Flag down. Thrown on the 5 at the far side. 54 yards. Look at this. That's his 6th play.
There were only 11 people on the offense on the field. Unbalanced line.
No flag. 2nd down and goal just inside the 2.
Officials thought there was more than 11, but it was just an unbalanced line. Arkansas tried to fool them. They tried to get set up quick and run the play, and LSU able to stop them.
Backs in the eye. Cobbs, the deep back. He gets the handoff. Heads left. Stopped short. Jarvis Green, number 59, with the tackle.
We saw the improvement on the running numbers for Arkansas, and they have great depth at running back. I mean, this is a team that really goes 4 deep. I mean, you've got their leading rusher, Fred Talley, then you've got Cedric Cobbs, who's healthy now. Brandon Holmes, who's been out for a few weeks, is back healthy, back on the team, and he's hungry to get in there. He hasn't even touched the field today. And then DeCorey Birmingham. Keep an eye on the fullback here, Mark Pierce.
He's number 33. 3rd down, option, pitch back. Birmingham got it, and it was led by Brady James.
Huge play by Brady James. Down the line option. It's a pitch all the way, and Brady James, excellent position, outside leverage, forces him to cut back in where he's got help. And Nick Saban knows his team dodged a bullet there.
And again, Arkansas will have to settle for the try for 3. O'Donohoe knocks it home. But 3 instead of 7. CBS Sports coverage of the Home Depot SEC football will continue after this word from your local station. Welcome Welcome back to Tiger Stadium, where LSU holds Arkansas to a field goal. And Matt Jones, just an outstanding first year, and he has now become the all-time leading runner among quarterbacks in Arkansas history. Quinn Grovey previously held the mark. Here's Dominic Davis, ever so dangerous as a kick returner. Nice return out to the 27-yard line.
First down for the Tigers.
Well, just about the time for us to begin college basketball coverage. December 1st, going to bring you regional coverage. Kansas takes on Arizona, or the Boston College Eagles visit Michigan on the home of the NCAA championship, CBS Sports.
One guy that's been really quiet for LSU right now so far is the tight end, Robert Royal. Might be a good time to try to get him involved in the offense. There he is on that side.
Play fake. Davey rolls right under pressure. And incomplete up at the 40-yard line. Michael Clayton is the intended receiver. And it's now time for the much anticipated moment in our broadcast when we ask you the trivia question. Ah, the Ducks traveling. He's a noisemaker. Here's the question. Name the only SEC Western Division teams who have not played in the SEC title game. Second down 10. Handoff goes to LeBrandon Tofield, DiMaggio, and the flag comes down about the time the tackle is made. Flag back at the 23-yard line. Corey G. Harris made the tackle, number 24.
Carlos Hall got held that time.
Against the offense, 10 yards from the spot of the foul. Second down, repeated.
And so the ball will be placed back inside the 20 at the 18-yard line.
Rohan's got to get it together now. I mean, he's got to get that fire in his eyes right now. I mean, he is the leader of this team, and he is not off to a good start, as you can see, but the team is going to feed off of him. I mean, they're going to respond based on how he responds.
Second down and 19 after the penalty. Josh Reed comes left. He's been quiet because of the ineffectiveness of Rohan Davey. 73 catches coming into the game. Here's the handoff to Tofield. Got a blocker downfield. Big run for Tofield. Ahmad Carroll finally knocks him out of bounds.
First down for the Tigers.
26 yards.
Perfect call by Jimbo Fisher. Tony Bua was coming on the blitz, and the run slipped in right behind him. I mean, you couldn't have asked for better. Bua is going to come on the blitz, and the run is going to go right by him. And then downfield at the end of the play, Michael Clayton gets an outstanding block. The wide receiver comes back in and gets a nice block and gives Tofield about 8 more yards.
Tofield with 26 on that run. He's now got 123 in the first half. Here comes the blitz. Huckable was coming on the blitz, and the pass incomplete. The crowd displeased with the lack of an interference call.
Well, the official signaled uncatchable. The ball was heading out of bounds. Jed Huckabee with the pressure. Huckabee gets the good high hit on Rohan Davey. And watch the ball. It's out of bounds. It's uncatchable. And a nice call by the official with no interference.
There's Jeb Huckabee, number 15, and a second down and 10. LeBrandon Tofield, over 100 yards for the 5th time in his career. Runs of 62 and 26. The highlights here. Here's Tofield.
Nice play by Hamlin. We saw Hamlin miss a tackle on the touchdown run. He didn't miss that one. This is a guy who plays free safety, but he plays it different than you would think a free safety plays. He's up around the action all the time. Very valuable in their run defense. Had over 100 tackles coming into the game. He plays in. He's a big physical guy. 6'2", about 200 pounds.
3rd and 9. And 3 wide receivers to the left. 1 sprint wide right. Davey goes out of the shotgun. Arkansas brings 4. Davey looks deep down the middle. He's got Clayton. Overthrows him, and he was open by 2 yards.
Rohan Davey told me yesterday that third down would be the chance to get big plays because they like to bring pressure and they open up the middle. Watch the middle of the field open up. There's no safety help. One-on-one, Clayton beats Richardson, and Davey just not able to get him the football. Boy, he had him, and it's not a bad throw, just slightly overthrown.
First punt of the game on fourth down. Donnie Jones, the lefty, sends it back to Marvin Jackson. He's got it at the 13-yard line. Avoids the first downfield tackler and is knocked out of bounds at the 23-yard line. 42-yard punt and 9 on the return. 7:04 to go, first half of play. Hogs lead by 6.
First down.
All right, Tim, we welcome you back to Baton Rouge. A couple of Thanksgiving leftovers.
Jones is the quarterback.
13-7 and a first down. Arkansas with a 6-point lead. Talley gets the handoff from Matt Jones out to the 26-yard line, and a reminder that before the game is completed, Todd Now will be sucking the Army player of the game, and then tomorrow our SEC coverage continues as Vandy goes in to take on the 6th-ranked Volunteers of Tennessee. That's tomorrow at 3:30 Eastern Time, and it all begins with college football today. Tim Brando, Spencer Tillman back in the studios at 3 o'clock Eastern Time.
Tennessee really survived a scare last week against Kentucky. I think they'll be ready to play tomorrow.
Jones on a playback and a comeback pattern. Richard Smith makes the grab up at the 38-yard line, and that'll be a first down, Arkansas.
Is complete to number 8. Carroll. Correction. Richard Smith.
Number 8 is Richard Smith, and Arkansas is one of the teams that has duplicate numbers, but in this case, both guys play a lot.
That's right. One's an outstanding corner, Ahmad Carroll, and the other one, Richard Smith, the wide receiver. They probably work against each other in practice every day, too.
Cobbs is in, and this will be Jones keeping it. Nice trouble. Kyle Kipps, number 85.
There's a lot of teams in college football doing this now. Out of the shotgun, and you got to sell the fake. Watch the fake. Stick it in the belly, ride, and then pull it out. But that time, Kyle Kipps reading it the whole way. He maintained his backside responsibility and made the nice play on Matt Jones. And that's the way to stop Matt Jones, in the backfield, not when he gets out in the open field and gets those long legs running.
Backs in the eye on 2nd down and 12 after the loss of 2. Jones with a modest play fake, pumps once, goes deep. There's Smith downfield, and it's overthrown at the 20-yard line. Demetrius Hookfin, number 33, with decent coverage on the play.
Well, he was beat, though. I mean, this was a double move. Watch Richard Smith working on Hookfin. It's the out and up. There's the out fake, and Hookfin bites, and now he's beat. Matt Jones just can't get him the football.
Zach Clark is in at QB.
They had what they wanted, single coverage, and he had his man beat.
3rd down, 12.
Hey, let me amend my statement. That was indecent coverage.
36-yard line.
Hookfin was badly beaten. Zach Clark is back in now on 3rd and 12. Clark across the middle as he gets pressure, and the ball just missed by Ryan Clark. Zach Clark into the arms of Ryan Clark after he was hit.
Well, you called the pressure. The pressure by Lavallee is what forced the near interception. Watch Lavallee come in here and just get great pressure inside. Right up the gut, hits him right in the mouth, and that ball flutters out of there because of the pressure. Watch this hit by Lavallee. Whenever you see the head snap back, I mean, in the NFL, they might even call that a penalty.
First punt for Arkansas. Richie Butler is on. Dominic Davis, who has returned 1 for a touchdown this year, awaits it, and he moves up and grabs it at the 28-yard line. He's got some room. Flags are down.
Illegal block in the back.
Yeah, this is going to come back.
Dominic Davis returned the punt.
Dave Peterson, number 57. It looked like he didn't know whether to try to make the block or not, and just got his hands on the back of the defender coming down the field. It was Gavin Walls covering the kick for Arkansas. Watch here.
During the return, blocking the back by the receiving team, 10 yards, first down.
Boy, another penalty. Excellent field position taken away.
Just under 5 to play first half. 13-7, Razorbacks. And time now for the answer to our trivia question. The only teams that have not played in the title game, LSU and Ole Miss. LSU can do it, but they need to win both games remaining. This one, and next week at home against Auburn. First down and 10. Davey back. Here comes the blitz in the corner. Tony Bua. The pass is caught by Tofield. Big gain all the way out to the 43-yard line.
Great block by Stephen Peterman. I mean, he got the key block. Now, Davey does a nice job of dropping back and letting the rush come. But watch on the right side of your screen, 72. Right there, the block on Carlos Hall took him right off his feet, and that was the key block for that play. Nice execution by Davey and an excellent block by Peterman.
That's a gain of 22, a first down at the 43-yard line, 13-7. Arkansas leads. Reed comes left. Play fake, Davey. He's being chased by Jermaine Petty, and Petty gets there, but it is caught by Reed. Blown coverage by Arkansas, and Josh Reed makes them pay.
Only his second catch of the game. Arkansas had kept him quiet, but you see a little bit of the strength of Rohan Davey. I mean, he is gone on this play. I mean, he is being chased, and watch this pressure now as Reed runs the crossing route. Davey off his back foot all the way back across the field to a wide open Josh Reed. Excellent strength by Rohan Davey to even make that play.
75 catches now, including today's game for the season. First in the SEC. And he's already set a single-season yardage record for LSU. Here's the handoff to Cofield inside the 25. Ken Hamlin and Josh Reed having words.
Yeah, well, there was a little bit of a wrestling match at the end of that play. Blocking downfield, Josh Reed, and Hamlin ended up in the, I think he had him pinned. He had him pinned. He was down for a full 3 count.
Josh Reed, running back at one time, made the switch to wide receiver 2 years ago in the 9th game, and is a finalist, as Todd said earlier, for the Boleknikoff Award to be named on December 6th. Here's Davey. Across the middle, deep. Robert Royal, flag down. And we might get Jamar Gallen with this one.
LSU has a lot of weapons, and this is Robert Royal, and he's going to run the post pattern. They're trying to work the middle of the field. It's open.
Actually, Todd, we've got 2 flags. Yeah. Sorry.
I think the last flag down the field was on Gallen. I think the other thing was inside.
These could be offsetting. Let's see.
I think they're both against Arkansas. I think we have an illegal hands to the face on the pass rush by Arkansas.
We had a face mask call against the defense that's declined. We have defensive pass interference that's accepted. 15 yards from the previous spot. Automatic first down.
That is the first Arkansas penalty.
The biggest play of this first half has been the stop that Brady James made on Matt Jones on the option on 3rd down and forcing a field goal. Because right now, LSU, though they've been outplayed and they've turned it over, if they score, they take the lead by 1.
First and goal from the 9. Clayton split off to the left. Reed in the slot right. This is Tofield. Touchdown! What a run! What an effort, LeBrandon Tofield. His 17th touchdown of the season.
He has the ability to get extra yardage with effort, with toughness, and with strength. And he does it here. Great push up front by the offensive line. But what effort by LeBrandon Tofield. And that crowd that was a little lethargic starting to get back into it.
John Corbello with the extra point. And the Tigers have reclaimed the lead. LeBrandon Tofield has equaled the school record for touchdowns in a single season. 14-13 LSU, 3:24 to go, first half of play. Tofield's 17th touchdown equals the school record. Marvelous first half.
Not bad.
Here's the kick from Corbello. And Corey Birmingham will drop to a knee. It's Fun for All Friday on CBS. Don't miss the major concert event featuring NSYNC with special guest Tim McGraw. NSYNC in concert tonight on CBS. Preceded by the Rugrats movie. 14-13, Zach Clark is in. Fred Talley, good defense, LSU. The emotion is contagious, isn't it?
Yeah, it is.
Not so sure about the reaction.
Well, Kyle Kipps has made a couple nice plays. I mean, he's a guy that was a former tight end. Oh, now he's getting the warning, the celebration warning.
Yeah.
Got to crack down on any enthusiasm here. Just when we were starting to get excited.
Second down and 9. Lancaster, the lead blocker, sets up to the left side now. Deep right side. Here's Smith. Almost got it. Over Demetrius Hookfin.
They're going after Hookfin. That's the 4th time they've gone after him, and they've had him. Just not able to make the connection. Richard Smith seems to have a nice advantage right now working on Hookfin. The sophomore out of Shreveport going against his home state guys, just unable to make the catch.
And that will bring up a 3rd and long for Arkansas.
4th down 9.
126 on the ground. They are known as a running team, but LeBrandon Tofield has shifted the emphasis, and time is called now by LSU. They stop the clock. That is the first of their allotment of 3. 2:34 to go, first half. 2:34 to go. They have changed the timeout call now. It was Arkansas that used its second timeout. They've got one left.
I wouldn't be surprised to see Arkansas run Fred Talley here. Zach Clark cannot afford to make a bad decision here with the football.
Here comes the blitz. Clark pumps once, goes deep, incomplete. Intended for Sparky Hamilton, number 28. It will be 4th down, and LSU will get it back.
4th down.
Pretty good coverage by Norman Lejeune. He wants interference or holding, but I thought it was a pretty good job of covering by the strong safety Lejeune.
That will bring on Richie Butler for the punt, and Dominic Davis. LSU should come out of this with really fine field position. Nice and high. Davis drifts back, grabs it.
Good coverage.
Sure was.
Really, first of all, great job by Richie Butler because the snap was low. He did a nice job of handling the snap and then getting a good kick. And then excellent coverage by the Razorbacks.
Well, the current standings in the SEC West: Auburn 5-2, Arkansas 4-3, and LSU 3-3. And this game of great significance. If Auburn comes in here next week, they will win the SEC West and go to the championship game. But LSU can control things. They win the division with a victory here and a win over Auburn next week. Arkansas needs to win here and then have LSU defeat Auburn in order to get into the title game. Dominic Davis out to the 44-yard line. Jermaine Petty and Carlos Hall with the tackles.
Talked about Carlos Hall. There he is, 55. He only has 1 sack, but he makes his presence felt. And ever since that South Carolina game, he's really picked.
Bad snap. Bad snap. And that's going to be a fumble and a recovery, Arkansas.
Back to have the ball at the 30-yard line.
Tony Bua's got it.
There he is, 22, Tony Bua. A bad snap, and Davey trying to pick it up. Instead of just falling on it and considering it a dead play, he tried to pick it up on the move. The snap is low and away, and Rohan's just got to fall on that right there. And Bua just went in there and fought for the ball. It looked like Davey had it, but Bua went in there and wrestled it out.
Second turnover for Tony Bua. He had a pick earlier in the game. And that is the third turnover for LSU. 2 interceptions and a fumble from Rohan Davey. Backs in the eye on first down at the 31. Jones, the quarterback, comes back right side to Corey Hamilton. Birmingham got it at the 15.
Well, they had him fooled, Vern. And if Matt Jones keeps this outside, Birmingham probably scores. But he had to come back inside for the football. He's rolling that way, and it's a throwback design, but the ball too far inside, and that enabled Ryan Clark to come over and make the play. If Jones keeps that throw outside, he might have a touchdown.
Arkansas with 1 timeout remaining. First down. And again, Matt Jones will flip it. Fires it. Caught, touchdown!
What a catch!
Richard Smith.
Working on Hookfin again. They've gotten the turnovers and they've come up short. This time they capitalize and take advantage. The throw in a perfect spot, low and outside. And watch the catch by Richard Smith. The right foot is in. He hits the pylon. That is beautiful work by Richard Smith.
And prior to the extra point try, time called by Arkansas. Razorbacks not known as a passing team. They are after this one. 1:19 to go before the halftime break. Arkansas takes advantage of the fumble recovery and then the touchdown pass to Richard Smith.
And they really needed to take advantage of that. What a catch. There's the right foot is in, and a clean catch by Richard Smith. I mean, those are the kind you practice when you're a kid out in the driveway, you know, staying in bounds, keeping the feet behind the line, making the catch, and a perfect throw by the freshman Matt Jones.
And Arkansas has elected to go for 2 up by 5.
Zach Clark in, not Matt Jones, so don't expect an option here.
Talley is the deep man. There's Clark, comes right. He's got a wide open receiver. Howard in the end zone, but he threw it hard and low.
Intended for number 5, Howard. So the point after?
Gerald Howard was the intended receiver.
Yeah, Howard's a one-man route. They're blocking everybody, and he just runs a zig in and then back out, and he's open, but Zach Clark doesn't give him one he can handle. And that was a one-man pass route, and Zach Clark let one get away there.
Took only 31 seconds for Arkansas to score after they get their 3rd turnover of the first half of play. And at halftime, we'll go back to New York. Tim Brando and Spencer Tillman with scores and highlights. As Arkansas has been held to 2 field goals following the first 2 turnovers, but they get this one.
The last couple of possessions, Zach Clark has had to get ice on his left hand. I think it was from that hit that he took from Chad Lavallee earlier in the second quarter. Fortunately for him, that's not his throwing hand, so not a big deal there.
Deep the Tigers.
1:19 to go.
Dominic Davis, Devery Henderson.
Carlton will kick off. Dominic Davis is the deep man. This one very short, and Davis moves up and grabs it at the 18-yard line. Tackled as he crosses the 30 to the 32. And let's get more on Zach Clark's injury. Here's Jill.
Well, Zach got hit pretty hard on that hand, and they believe it's just a bruise. They iced it down, put some ice. The swelling went down and feels okay to take snaps, so they're going to try to keep him in the game.
Now, the good news is that it's his left hand, because that's not a problem both throwing the football or taking the snap. As a right-handed quarterback, your left hand is your bottom hand, and so it doesn't take near as much pressure when you take a snap from center.
On first down, here's Davey coming left, pulls up, and he's got Jerome Myers at the 39-yard line in front of Huckabee.
Number 3, Jerome Myers.
And that stops the clock with 1:09 to go before halftime.
Huckabee covered, picked up 7 yards.
19-14.
3. At 39.
So you have to be impressed with the resiliency of the Arkansas football team. I mean, the way they played early in the season, they have made a turnaround, and now when you get on a win streak, you start believing you can beat anybody.
Clayton comes left, gets out of bounds to stop the clock at the 47-yard line. That was a remarkable effort by Richard Smith. Let's go back and take a look at that touchdown.
Perfect throw away from the defense, and then right at the pylon. The clean catch and the right foot and the left foot in. He even tippy-toed in. That's the thing you practice, too. Drag that back foot. That's for when you get to the NFL. Gotta get that second foot in.
First down and 10. 19-14, three-man Arkansas rush. Davey has a receiver. It's Reed. Josh Reed. Gallen knocks him out of bounds, but not before LSU gets a 33-yard gain and a first down at the 20.
Tony Bua, who has had a big first half, went for the interception here. Watch Tony Bua try to cut in front and get the interception. He's reading the quarterback, he knows the route, and he cuts in front, but he doesn't make the play, and that leaves open behind him for Josh Reed. Bua gambled, and that time it didn't pay off.
Rohan Davey has hit his last 5 in succession. He's got 3 receivers off to the right side. A lot of time. Deep in the end zone. Caught. Reed, touchdown.
Football is a game of matchups. Josh Reed is your best receiver. Get him in a position where he's not against one of your corners, he's against the safety. Corey G. Harris is a strong safety. That's a mismatch that favors LSU. You do that by formation or by motion, but they got what they wanted, and LSU retakes the lead.
And they will now go for 2. Up by 1, 20-19 with 51 seconds to go.
How about the response of Rohan Davey and Josh Reed? Davey struggling with turnovers. Still the leader, still the guy that makes the play when they need it.
And the try for 2. Again, 3 receivers split right. Clayton is off the left side. Davey's looking at Clayton all the way. And overthrows him as he makes the cut.
Yep, had him. That's a route where you kind of fake like you're going to the fade and then break it back outside. And he was open. Watch Clayton now. Ahmad Carroll thinks it's fade all the way, right? Nope, stop and come back. The ball just too high to handle.
51 seconds remain in the first half. The Tiger Walk is one of the great traditions in college football made by the players. Rohan Davey says he's got a lot of family here, though, so it's not all that easy to make the stroll.
They come and they show their support and they're enthusiastic and they happy for you and that type of thing. The only part that get me is when we walking down the hill, you got to hug everybody. You know, you can't just hug, I can't just hug my mama and then keep going. I got to hug auntie, uncle, nephew, cousins, everybody, and it takes a while.
He loves it, though. As a senior, you love those moments. And here's the other thing he says. He says, you know, I wish my family would just wear normal clothes, too. You know, I mean, I'm glad they're here. I'm glad they want to be supportive. He says, but they're so loud anyway that they don't need to wear all the clothes to let them know who they are.
Lest there be any doubt. And here's Birmingham, 7 yards deep.
First down for the Razorbacks at the 20-yard line.
Corbello knocks it into the end zone. Touchback.
We've had a little excitement here in the last couple minutes, haven't we? Boy.
Yes, we have. It took 28 seconds for LSU to answer the 31-second drive of Arkansas. Well, some are more impressed than others.
And Rohan's mom's right behind him. I can't imagine he's sleeping.
11 of 20 now, 2 interceptions. Touchdown catch. Davey was 4 of 4 on the drive.
Great resiliency by the senior.
Cobbs up the middle. Tackle made by Brady James after a 9-yard gain. 39 seconds to go. Arkansas out of timeouts.
I think both coaches are fairly happy at this point. Nick Saban very happy his team fought through the turnovers to take the lead. And Houston Nutt happy that he's only down 1 on the road here.
There's a mix-up. And Clark down at the 21-yard line. LSU will use a timeout to stop the clock with 14.9 seconds to go.
Lost yardage back
Well,
at the
LSU trying to secure its first trip to Atlanta for the SEC championship game. Arkansas has played in the game. 1995, they squared off against Florida. Razorbacks took a 3-0 lead, but Danny Werfel proceeded to pass for 276 yards, 2 touchdowns, while Florida's Ben Hanks intercepted an attempted option pitch by Arkansas quarterback Barry Lunney and raced 95 yards for a TD. Florida won it 34-3. 15 seconds to go here, 3rd and 9.
I mentioned Houston Nutt probably happy at this point. Obviously, he doesn't like going in down at halftime, but a hostile environment. They were able to pretty much take the crowd out of the game. Their defense forced some turnovers. Offensively, they've been able to establish their running game, and they go in down 1. So very much in the ball game for Arkansas.
See Jones figures for the day, 3 of 4 for 42 yards. And Zach Clark, very modest numbers so far, 1 of 8.
We may see a lot more of Matt Jones in the second half.
On 3rd down, here's Clark. Pulls up, fires it out for Smith, incomplete. It'll be 4th down with just under 10 seconds to go.
And that's exactly what Nick Saban wanted, because the incomplete pass stops the clock, and they can at least try to go after the punt here. The question now for Nick Saban, do you go after the block, or do you try to set up your guy Dominic Davis? If he gets a decent return, you might be able to attempt a field goal with 9.5 seconds left.
Davis perched at the 40-yard line. And Richie Butler on the punt. 3rd time in the first half. This time the snap is a good one.
Went for the block.
Dominic Davis, fair catch at the 41-yard line.
41-yard line. First down.
Well, we've talked about teams competing for the West berth. Florida, Tennessee, 6-1, 5-1, and they will meet next Saturday. Todd and I and Jill will be in Gainesville for that game with a 4:30 start, and whoever wins that game will win the SEC East. Really doesn't matter what Tennessee does against Vanderbilt in our telecast tomorrow. Unusual, isn't it, for Florida and Tennessee? That, of course, is because of the attack on America. The game delayed from mid-September to the first weekend in December.
Well, it's always had a real impact on the SEC and the national championship. This time even more at the end of the year.
Here is the final play in the first half. Davey off balance throw. He could be intercepted again. Knocked down, incomplete. Tony Bua was back to play center field on that one. Well, we've got something cooking here in Cajun country. Along with your etouffee, we got a 20-19 ball game. Tigers lead. And let's go down to Jill with Nick Saban.
Coach Saban, you've weathered 3 turnovers, a lot of momentum changes out here. What adjustments do you need to make to keep the momentum with this 1-point lead?
Well, you know, we probably played as poorly as we could in the first half in terms of turnovers and not controlling the ball offensively, even though we scored 20 points. So I think if we just bring ourselves together, don't turn the ball over, and keep doing what we're trying to do, we'll be just fine. I think we got to play the option a little bit better. Number 9's hurt us a little bit.
All right, Coach, thanks a lot.
Thank you.
All right, Jill, thank you. 20-19 at the half. And right now, let's go back to our New York. Third quarter. underway, Tigers Stadium, Baton Rouge, Louisiana. John Corbello will kick off for LSU, and this is Birmingham for Arkansas. At the 20, 25-30, and Corbello, the kicker, makes the tackle at the 35-yard line. Not what he had in mind. Just a moment ago, Jill had a chance to chat with Arkansas coach Houston Nutt.
Coach Nutt, you pretty much dominated the first half with the late scores at the end. How much did that deflate the team going into the half?
We still feel pretty good right now. We got a lot of confidence. We've always been able to get to the fourth quarter, and hopefully we can get to the fourth quarter. Our guys feel like we can win.
All right, Coach. Thanks a lot. Good luck.
All right, Jill, thank you. First down and 10 at the 36-yard line. Razorbacks and Matt Jones opens at quarterback. LSU in the third quarter have been a dominant team. Here's the handoff to Fred Talley. Brady James makes the stop. Number 11, and we are underway with the start of the third quarter. Pretty good one.
Excellent game going so far. I think one of the things to watch in this second half, Matt Jones had the hot hand, both as a runner and a thrower. The reason Arkansas got to this point and in contention for the SEC West is because of Matt Jones. If they're going to win today, it's going to be because of this guy. I would expect to see him just about the entire second half.
Here's the option. Jones has it. Jones is down. Jarvis Green, number 59.
Well played by Jarvis Green. We know Jarvis can rush the passer, but watch him defend the option. Beats the block and then goes right to the quarterback, Matt Jones. Well played by Jarvis Green.
And that brings up a third down and 7. 4 tackles today for Green. High formation. Play fake. Here comes Green. Jones pumps. He is sandwiched as he lets it go. And it's tipped. Incomplete inside the 20. And Jones is down. He got hit from the backside by Jarvis Green.
Trev Falk also there to help. Again, a two-man route. Arkansas likes to roll their quarterback. There's only 2 receivers going out. Richard Smith double covered. Good defense by LSU. And now the Arkansas quarterbacks combined are a mere 4 for 14 in the football game.
25-yard line.
Saw Trev Falk and Jarvis Green hold a meeting on Matt Jones' body. 4th down. Richie Butler to punt. Dominic Davis awaits it. Calls. Oh, no. Fair catch. There's a flag down, and so is Davis.
Penalty on Michael Clayton. A freshman mistake.
15-yard line.
Trying to help out Dominic Davis, but he's going to pin his offense deep in their own territory for the first possession of the second half. You just have to be disciplined. Here's Clayton. Watch him go and try to get a block, and it's just a block in the back. It's an illegal block. Harold Harris is the guy covering the kick for Arkansas. And Clayton will learn sometimes it's better to just run by the guy. You know, if you can't get the clean block, stay away from it.
I'll take a look at the halftime statistical breakdown.
Yeah, amazing. LSU turns it over 3 times. Arkansas, no turnovers, and yet LSU has the 1-point lead. And again, the passing yardage for Arkansas, only 65 yards.
And they are throwing against a pass defense that's rated 108th in the country. There's a handoff to Tofield. He runs into Jermaine Brooks on first down. Penalty moved the ball back to the 8-yard line, 1st and 10. Brandon Tofield opened the scoring with a 62-yard gallop for a touchdown. He has scored twice today. Davey, 11 of 21, was off to a 5 for 12 start with 2 interceptions. Both of those came in the first quarter of play.
Tofield lost a yard.
Second down, 11. 4 wide receiver set. Davey under pressure, has to get rid of it early and throws it over the head of Jarrell Myers.
Yeah, Jermaine Petty came on the blitz, and they don't usually bring the middle linebacker. They usually bring the outside guys, Miller and Bua. Here's Petty, and he's got a clean shot to the quarterback. You see, he gets inside the block of the guard, Pierce, because they weren't anticipating the middle linebacker blitzing. That's not normally Arkansas style.
2 flags also down.
Wow.
And well away from the play.
First down. Unsportsmanlike conduct. Boy, what a crucial penalty. Instead of 3rd and 11 from inside the 10, a first down out beyond the 20. What a huge, huge penalty against Arkansas.
On 1st and 10, Reed comes wide right. Now starts in motion. There's the toss. Tofield comes right. Lawrence Richardson, Jermaine Brooks were there defensively.
No, Vern, we were looking at replays trying to see if there was a late hit or something. I think it might have been some trash talking after the play. You know, it was a good play by Arkansas, but what a crucial penalty, unsportsmanlike, to give LSU new life.
2nd down and 10. 2019 LSU, baby. Hand off to Tofield. He heads left.
Wow. Good stick.
How about Dwayne Pierce leading the way?
Yeah. Jamar Gallen with a serious tackle on the other end. It's a physical game. These teams are both going at each other. The line of scrimmage, very important. Here's Pierce. Watch him pull and lead this play. He's their best offensive lineman. He gets the nice block on Carlos Hall. And then watch Jamar Gallen, 39, come up with the big hit on Tofield. Good block and a good tackle on that play.
3rd and 4. Davey will go from the shotgun, and Reed starts in motion wide to the left. Come into the flat left side. The ball is dropped by Brandon Tofield.
Tried to run before he caught it. That's all that's a case of. I mean, he had what he wanted. He has the first down easy, but he tried to turn up field before he had the sure catch.
And Marvin Jackson will go back to await the punt now on 4th down. John Thompson, defensive coordinator, prowling the sidelines of the Razorbacks.
LSU needs to be sound on their coverage. They've been good all year covering punts, but this guy is dangerous.
Donnie Jones, LSU yielding only 2.4 per return. Nice punt. Yes, indeed. Angled it out of bounds at the 16. A 56-yard punt. Razorbacks have the ball with 11:09 to go 3rd quarter, and they trail by 1. And happy Thanksgiving to you. 1st down and 10, Arkansas. Zach Clark, only his 2nd completion, and Brady James is there to make the tackle on Richard Smith. What's Arkansas need now? They're down by 1 early 3rd quarter.
I think the biggest thing they need to do is they must hit some plays in the passing game. And Zach Clark is the better passer of the two, even though he was only 1 for 9 in that first half. But in order to make their running game work, they've got to hit some plays where they get some balls down the field and get some chunks of yardage throwing the football. Spencer said they need 15 to 18 completions. I just think they need a couple big plays.
Lavallee. He straightened him up.
This guy missed the second half of the Alabama game. He missed all of the Middle Tennessee game with a hamstring injury. But watch him on the inside. They run a little twist, and he comes free. And the only guy that Fred Talley didn't want to see in the hole. Talley at 180 pounds. Lavallee close to 3 bills.
3rd and 6. Clark still the quarterback, and he goes from the spread. LSU will bring 4, and they're stunning. Clark deep down the middle into triple coverage, incomplete, intended for Sparky Hamilton, and that's going to bring up an Arkansas punt.
A lot of coverage there. Brady James in excellent position. Another 3 and out for the LSU defense. This is not a defense that has had a whole lot of 3 and outs this year.
And Dominic Davis back to return the punt. He awaits at the 35. Richie Butler standing for the moment at his own 5. There's Davis on 4th down. Good one. Oh, beauty. Davis all the way back to 25. Down at the 37-yard line after a 13-yard punt return at Butler's 56-yard punt. 9 minutes, 32 seconds remaining in the third.
The Home Depot SEC on CBS is sponsored by Samsung, Bud Light, Suzuki, and by Burlington Coat Factory.
First and 10, LSU.
I would expect that LSU's going to try to get the ball deep to Michael Clayton in this series somewhere.
Cofield nailed as he gets back to the line of scrimmage. Well, Rohan Davey took time to give all of us a holiday greeting.
Hi, I'm Rohan Davey, quarterback of the LSU Tigers. On behalf of us here in LSU and the Tiger family, we'd just like to say happy Thanksgiving to all you men and women over there fighting the war, and to everybody in New York City, everybody that helped out with this crisis that happened on September 11th. Just thank you, and hopefully you guys can watch us in the SEC Championship.
That's what's at stake. He's an engaging young man. Here's Davey. Little pass underneath to Corey Webster, number 13. And they move it out to the 40-yard line.
Davey's pass is complete to Corey Webster.
Jeb Huckabee
Across the 40-yard
tackle.
line.
And a player down back at the 30 for Arkansas.
Razorback, shake him up at the 29-yard line. Huckabee and House made the tackle.
That's Jamar Gallen, number 39. 8 minutes and 42 seconds time called as they tend to Jamar Gallen. Well, Sunday on the NFL Today, Deion Sanders will hook up with the Raiders' Jerry Rice. Marcus Allen looks at a grueling workout by the Giants' Tiki Barber and Greg Camilla, plus all you need to know about the Raiders-Giants matchup. That and more Sunday on the NFL Today. Pictures taken from on high. The great views you're seeing being brought to you today by Monster.com's East Coast Blimp. And it has a name. Trump. Jamar Gallen limping as he walks off by himself.
It's good to see him up and okay. Here he is going up in the air, and just looks like he just bumped knees coming down at the end of that play.
3rd and 8 LSU. They are only 1 of 5 on third downs thus far. And as Todd told you, they lead the SEC in third down conversions. Davey with time. He's got Clayton deep. There goes Clayton. Touchdown.
Rohan said third down is going to be our shot to go deep. Here's Clayton on the post, and the middle is going to be wide open. The safeties are up tight. Clayton runs to the post, and there's no help back here. And it's a perfectly thrown ball by Davey. He had him earlier in the game and missed him. This time, when he beat Ahmad Carroll, he got the ball to him.
Snap is high. Good job of getting it down by Beck. And John Corbello's extra point is good. Ahmad Carroll got nicked badly. Michael Clayton, 60 yards for the LSU TD. LSU extends its lead, a quick strike. 3 plays, 62 yards, and a touchdown from Michael Clayton.
Yeah, he had been quiet. He had 3 catches prior to that, but for only 22 yards, and he's a big play guy, as we saw right there.
John Corbello will kick it off. This one short, and Richardson moves up and grabs it at the 17. He's got some room, hauled down from behind. Ryan Clark with a tackle at the 35-yard line. And let's go down and check in once again with Jill Arrington.
Oh, with the season winding down, the LSU seniors had a breakfast last week, gave the chance for the players to reflect on the season. And Rohan Davey said, "I wouldn't give up this year for anything in the world. I've had the best time playing. LSU knows they control their own destiny." And Rohan said how great it would be to be the first LSU team to play in that SEC championship game.
All right, Joe, thank you.
It's hard to imagine. You got to remember, only 14 career starts. Seems like he's been here a long time, but he just hasn't started many games.
Matt Jones in at quarterback, and this time he hands it off to Talley. Ran that play in the first half, and Jones kept it for a 54-yard gain.
Get back to the passes. I mean, I don't think they have to hit a ton of passes, but I do think they have to hit some significant passes because LSU is starting to crowd up on the running game, and the only way to loosen up and open up some gaps in the running game is to stretch the defense, and you do that by hitting some passes down the field.
Well, not to belabor the point, but this is an LSU team. Here's Jones keeping it. Tackled at the 42-yard line, short of the first down. An LSU team that is yielding 286 yards per game in the air.
Yeah, but it's an Arkansas offense that is 110th in the country. They only average 135 yards a game, so it's weakness against weakness.
Total yards in this one, 358 to 202. 3rd and 3, double tight end set. Smith goes off to the right side. George Wilson split left. Option play. Jones hit as he lets it go by Kendrick Allen, and that comes down short of the first down. And again, Arkansas 3 and out.
When you defend the option, you've got to be sound. You've got to take the quarterback. That's what Kendrick Allen's going to do. And then you've got to cover the pitch. Allen gets to the quarterback, forces the pitch. Now, who's going to take Birmingham? Well, there's 3 white shirts there to account for 1 ball carrier. That is good, disciplined defense by LSU.
6:24 to go in the 3rd, and Dominic Davis getting ready to return yet another Richie Butler punt. Low fake. It's a quick snap, and they got the first down.
Nice call by Houston Nutt.
Mark Pierce gets the direct snap, and the fullback picks up a first down. There is a flag down.
Five-yard incidental face mask tacked on to the end of the run. First down.
A perfect time to call the fake punt. You don't need much yardage. Your offense needs something. Here's Pierce, the fullback. So he's a good runner. He's used to running those inside plays. They got a nice push up the middle. And to do this, you got to have a little acting job by your kicker, Richie Butler. Looked like a shortstop trying to scoop one up back there. But an excellent call by Houston Nutt.
First down at the 48-yard line. Birmingham comes left. Here's Zach Clark back. He's going to be nailed. Kyle Kipps.
Nobody blocked him. Nobody blocked Kyle Kipps. And it wasn't a blitz, but Sean Andrews, the right tackle, there was a mix-up over here. Watch this side of the screen. Nobody's going to block Kyle Kipps. I mean, he ran right between Sean Andrews and the fullback, Mark Pierce. You cannot leave a big guy unaccounted for.
Second down.
Sean Andrews is the freshman starter. Got the job in week 3. That is only the 2nd sack he's given up this year. He will be designated as the man responsible. High snap.
Dead ball. There was movement up front. I think Sean Andrews still shook up a little bit from that bust the play before.
Before the ball was snapped. Movement to the offensive line, 5 yards.
Brings it back penalized 5 yards for a false start.
This was Trev Falk.
He's calling for the crowd. He wants the crowd to get loud. He's moving guys. He's getting the crowd in it. He's calling signals. I'd say he's into the game.
2nd and 21 from the 40. Jones at quarterback. There's the fake to Talley, and Jones goes right. He can't go anywhere. Ryan Clark.
LSU knows where number 9 is. Nick Saban said at halftime, we've got to do a better job against number 9. He's hurting us. They got him zeroed in here in the 3rd quarter. Ryan Clark, the first guy there that time. And this is not Arkansas's cup of tea right here. 3rd down and long, throwing the football. The best thing for them right now is to get their punter to drill one deep and play defense again.
3rd and 22. Four-man LSU rush. Jones lets it go. He's got a man open. It's caught. Sparky Hamilton, touchdown.
Jones' pass is complete to Hamilton.
What was that you said a couple weeks ago? Inexplicable? 3rd and 22. You cannot let somebody run down the middle of your defense for a touchdown. I mean, here's Hamilton. He's huge, too. He's just going to run straight down the middle, and Ryan Clark, the free safety, is going to pick him up. Here's Clark. He picks him up, but he squats, and Hamilton runs right by him. As soon as Ryan Clark paused, Hamilton ran right by him, and Matt Jones, all he does is make big plays.
Last week, those two for 61 yards. Here's the try for 2. Jones knocked down in the end zone by Norman Lejeune. But a big strike. Matt Jones, Sparky Hamilton, 61 yards.
Take a look. I mean, Ryan Clark got beat. Then he got beat again when he looked for the football. And on 3rd and 22, Arkansas gets a touchdown. Not supposed to happen.
Time now for our Exxon and Mobil scoring recap. This could take a while. LeBrandon Tofield with the first touchdown. Matt Jones equalized as the two teams went back and forth. A couple of field goals put Arkansas up by 13. And then LeBrandon Tofield with his second touchdown of the day gave LSU a 14-13 lead. Arkansas, great catch. Richard Smith will continue in a moment. This one goes by Dominic Davis. Touchback. It will come out to the 20. Well, at 20-19, this catch made by Josh Reed for LSU. Michael Clayton, a 60-yarder here in the 3rd quarter. And just a moment ago, Sparky Hamilton, his first touchdown for Arkansas this year, and it now stands 27-25.
And I made the point about big plays in the passing game. I don't think they have to have a huge percentage. They don't have to light it on fire here the second half, but they must hit some big plays, and that's exactly what they did on that drive to get right back in the ball game.
That one highlighted by a fake punt on 4th and 2. Here's Davey back on first down. He goes deep for Reed, intercepted, picked off by Caleb Miller. And Davey has been intercepted for the 3rd time today.
2 things. One, he stared this down. I mean, he was going to Reed all the way, but secondly, I think this ball got deflected. I think somebody got a hand on the football. It might have been Kurt Davis. Let's take a look at this. Let's see if this ball doesn't get deflected over here by somebody. Kurt Davis in the middle, Carlos Hall. Hand on the football, right into the arms of Caleb Miller. He stared it down, but Carlos Hall with yet another big play for the resurgent Arkansas Razorbacks.
And a chance for the Razorbacks to reclaim the lead. Matt Jones at quarterback on 1st and 10. Handoff, quick opener, Mark Pierce, the fullback, to the 17-yard line.
Pierce carrying the ball.
Rohan Davey had thrown only 5 interceptions for the season, and 3 already today. Arkansas leading the SEC in forced turnovers, 3 picks and a fumble recovery today.
Yeah, coming into the game, they trailed Auburn. They took over the lead with 5 today. So just, and again, Rohan Davey forced that one. I mean, he stared down where he was going with the football.
3:10 to go, 3rd quarter. Hogs trail by 2. Play fake. Jones got him at the 20.
Nice play by Trev Falk. He's the one who blew that play up. Trev Falk again was in a spy position, and he made the first move at Matt Jones. He didn't get the tackle, but he forced Matt Jones to tuck it and go back inside for no gain. Actually a loss of 3 yards, but that was made by Trev Falk and his pursuit to the quarterback.
Loss of 3, 2nd and 13. 2:34 to go, 3rd quarter. Pierce and Birmingham are the backs.
Single coverage out at the bottom.
Option left side. Jones cuts. Tackled at the 15-yard line. It's going to be 3rd and 2. Well, the Richard Toole Scholar Athlete Award for today's game goes to LSU's number 7, Trev Falk. We've been talking about him a lot. Richard Toole's commitment to the investment of our future, shown today by donating $1,000 to LSU's General Scholarship Fund. Trev Falk, a junior marketing major with a 3.2 grade point average, recently named a Verizon District 6 All-Academic Team member.
Important point. Ryan Clark, one of the key leaders of this defense, the free safety, just took himself out of the ball game. Travis Moses, number 37, is his replacement at free safety.
Jones in the roll, pursuit from the backside. He tries to throw it away, and it's intercepted by Kendrick Allen. And Kendrick Allen drops back and picks it off.
LSU has done a nice job of running guys at Matt Jones. They are not letting him get outside. James on the blitz. Now Jones is trying to throw it away, but because James was into his body, he doesn't get enough on the ball, and Kendrick Allen comes away with the interception. Good decision to throw it away, but if you can't throw it clean up into the 3rd row, don't do it.
That's the first Arkansas turnover. Here's the toss to Tofield. And he surges across the 30. Kurt Davis drags him down, but from behind. Another look at the interception.
Here's Kendrick Allen. Now just watch. He's going to ride the play out, and then he's just going to kind of fall into it. I mean, he's not playing pass defense. The ball just comes to him. Every defensive lineman's dream to get an interception. Right place at the right time.
Matt Jones chats with the guys upstairs, and it's 2nd down and 1. LSU still leads by 2. Nice defensive play by the Razorbacks. Tofield.
Kurt Davis right in there. Great penetration. Got low and got behind the line of scrimmage, and that was a big play. 2nd and 1. Now you're looking at 3rd down and about 3. So a huge play right there by Kurt Davis.
Clayton Webster and Jarrell Myers late joining the huddle. Time for one more play, I think.
Remember, 3rd down has been the play where Arkansas has given up the middle of the field, and that's been the play or the down when LSU has gone for the big one. Let's see what they do here.
They got Clayton for 60 yards last time they faced this circumstance. Blitz. Davey, Jarrell Myers, 1st down LSU at the 41-yard line in front of Eddie Jackson. And there will be time for one more play after the change of move.
Good protection up front. Offensive line giving Davey clear vision down the field, and Mr. Dependable, Jarrell Myers, right there for the 1st down.
LSU opts to let the clock expire.
That's the end of the 3rd quarter.
That is the end of 3 with our score 27-25 LSU. We'll return to Baton Rouge right after this message and a word from your local station. Matt Jones and the Razorbacks trail by 2 as we get ready for the start of the 4th. On 1st down, here's Davey, shakes a tackle, fires it to Jarrell Myers, and he stops at the 45-yard line. This one has gone back and forth, and a lot at stake as Arkansas and LSU fight for a berth in the SEC championship game.
Yeah, it's one and done. I mean, this is the game that it comes down to for both teams. If LSU wins, of course, then next week the huge game with Auburn, but they got to take care of business today. And right now, I think it is LeBrandon Tofield time for LSU.
Here's Davey on 2nd down. Comes left, chased by Jermaine Brooks. Lets it go deep. That could be trouble. Popped and intercepted. On the deflection, it's Ahmad Carroll, number 8. And he is still loose. Ahmad Carroll, the freshman, all the way back to the 40-yard line. That one deflected. Davey's been picked off again.
I've seen Rohan Davey make more bad decisions today than I've seen in a long time. This ball shouldn't have been thrown. Late to the middle of the field. Hamlin got the tip. Carroll got the interception. But the decision of throwing it down the middle late and with a lot of air under it is just asking for trouble. And Arkansas, their secondary, doing a nice job of reading the quarterback and then catching the football when he throws it up.
5 LSU turnovers. Here's Cedric Cobbs popped as he gets to the 38-yard line.
We just saw the interception by Ahmad Carroll. Here's what's happened earlier. The first one by Tony Bua. Another one by Mosley. Then the ball that was tipped by Carlos Hall and picked off by Caleb Miller. And one more. Tough to win, even at home, when you commit 5 turnovers. But Arkansas must convert here, Vern. They've got to take advantage of the opportunity.
On 2nd down and 7, Jones hit high, driven down. Trev Falk, number 7.
This is the perfect kind of game for these 2 linebackers, Falk and James. I mean, it's a physical game where they've got to make plays. It's not a finesse game like playing Florida where you're playing pass defense, and you know, it's one of those games where you can get dirt in your face mask and grass stains on your uniform and fly around and make plays, and they're doing that today.
4 of 14 on 3rd down conversions. Here's Jones looking left, has a man open, got it to Wilson at the 23.
It wasn't pretty, but it was effective. A lot of cushion out there by Hookman. This ball kind of fluttered out to Wilson, but he does a nice job of coming back and getting underneath the football. Again, very simple, one-man route. They're not throwing a lot of fancy stuff at you. They're trying to protect their quarterback and hope the receiver can get open.
Arkansas down by 2. The handoff, Cobbs coming right. He's got Lancaster out there to help block. And he stopped at the 23-yard line by Kyle Kipps, number 85. Just filed this one away. Brendan O'Donohoe, the field goal kicker for Arkansas, has hit 2 short today, but he's in a bit of a little streak, a bad streak. He was 1 of 3 last week.
And Kipps.
There's O'Donohoe getting ready.
The good news for him is I think the wind has died down some since the beginning of the game. It was much windier early in the ball game than it is right now.
2nd down and 9. Jones play fake. There's the slinky. He's got a tight end, Nathan Ball, who can't hang on. He was hit hard by Norman Lazard.
Jones' pass incomplete.
But what about the effort by Matt Jones? You called it, the slinky. Here he is, there he is, rubber band man, whatever. Excellent throw on the move under duress to Nathan Ball. Richard Smith in the corner of the end zone. Jones didn't see him, but he should have had the completion.
3rd down.
3rd down again. Jones 5 of 9. The big one was a 60-yarder. There's the handoff. That's not what they wanted. It certainly is what LSU welcomes. Kyle Kipps and Trev Falk.
Yeah, and Muskingum Barnes with the early penetration. He's the one who got the push in the backfield, and that enabled Trev Falk to finish up the play. Barnes got the penetration, and Trev Falk was able to finish it up along with Kipps.
O'Donohoe's longest kick is 45. This will be from 43 for the lead. Good snap. Lot of distance. Hit the upright.
Kick is no good. Kick to right. Upright. Touchdown to the Tigers.
Earlier in the day, that wind was blowing, and he was working on hooking him in from the right. This time it stayed right. The wind not there, and by that much, Arkansas still trails by 2.
Tigers at the 27-yard line.
There's a disconsolate place kicker for Arkansas. O'Donohoe misses from 41. He's 2 of 3 today. Here's Davey. The handoff to Tofield. Over right guard to the 29-yard line. Here's the reaction from Brennan O'Donohoe. So close.
Yeah. It's a lonely world. A lonely world. Kickers only. No one else over there, and he's reliving it over and over. You know, just if I hook it a little more, I just play it a little more inside. He's waiting, hoping he'll have another opportunity.
2nd down and 9. Here's the handoff to Tofield out of the spread formation. Tackled at the 36. That'll bring up 3rd and 1. Tomorrow, join Jim Nance, Tara Lipinski, Cal Ripken, and others for an uplifting celebration of athletics, heroism, and the American spirit at the Arete Awards, a sports tribute to American courage.
This is the time you really need LeBrandon Tofield. I mean, he's had a huge game. He's made big plays, but in the 4th quarter, when Arkansas maybe is a little tired on defense, this is when you need him to be your horse.
Key play here, 3rd and 1 at the 35-yard line. Play fake. Davey wants a bunch. He goes for his tight end, who is open.
Nice call.
Robert Royal got deep.
How about the call by Jimbo Fisher? Your quarterback is not having a great day. He's thrown 4 picks, and you say, you know what, 3rd and 1, we're going to fake it to toe and let him throw it anyway. And Davey delivers. Not having a stellar game, but a perfect throw that time to get the conversion. And that is having confidence in your quarterback, even on a bad day. And he delivers for you.
First catch of the day for Royal, the tight end, a preseason All-American pick. 1st and 10, LSU. Here's Tofield time. Excellent defense by Arkansas's Jermaine Brooks, number 45. Well, what kind of day has he had, Todd?
Well, he started off pretty good. You know, he went 62 yards for the touchdown to start the scoring, but he's just he's a guy that gives them a different dimension. He breaks tackles, he's physical, he gets tough yardage, can also catch the football, and again, this is when you need him. Now remember, LSU had a week off. Arkansas played last week, and this is a short week. This is a Friday game, so they should be the more tired football team than LSU right now.
Josh Reed split out wide to the right. Davey goes deep for Reed. He's got him. LSU TD. Rohan Davey down at the 50.
Back-to-back clutch throws by Rohan Davey. One-on-one coverage. Richardson outside position. You don't want that against the post route. And under pressure, Rohan Davey delivers a strike. Jermaine Petty on the blitz, but Davey on target.
2nd touchdown of the day for Josh Reed. And the extra point from Corbello. Josh Reed, no shock here, over 100 again.
5 catches, 130 yards. What do you want out of a competitor? Somebody who, when he's not playing great, he still wants the ball in his hands. Rohan Davey wanted the ball.
The Home Depot SEC on CBS is sponsored by Exxon and Mobil, Old Spice, Prudential Financial, and by Applebee's.
Kickoff for the Tigers.
There were a couple of prudent calls by Jimbo Fisher and LSU. On 3rd and 1, he found Robert Royal, and then he went deep. Davey to Josh Reed for the touchdown. 74 yards in 5 plays, and a bit of redemption for Rohan Davey. This is the Corey Birmingham at the goal line. Tackle and a flag.
Inside the 20-yard line.
The Monster.com blimp covering today's game from 3,000 feet above, 165 feet long, 55 feet tall. And when it is empty, it weighs over 5,000 pounds. Monster.com blimp in Baton Rouge on a beautiful late Friday afternoon. And howdy. Happy Thanksgiving, guys. Good to have you with us. 1 second less than 9 to go. Penalty will be marked off against Arkansas. If LSU wins today, they continue to control their destiny. They are at home against Auburn next Saturday. If they win that, they are in Atlanta. Birmingham stuffed. It's Pierce. Let's go back and take a look at the Josh Reed catch.
Well, I got to believe that Lawrence Richardson thought he was going to have help from the safety, because you never jump outside if you're not expecting help, because you don't want to get beat to the post. But Hamlin jumped on the tight end, and that left Richardson all alone with outside position on Josh Reed. I got to believe Richardson thought he was getting help from his safety Hamlin there.
Just on the other side of Shannon Money is Kendrick Allen, the defensive end for LSU, injured on that last play, number 54.
Take a look. Here's Kendrick Allen right here. Watch the end of the play. He just gets bent back. Legs planted. Ouch. No.
Time called as they take care of Kendrick Allen. Josh Reed, just another average day. 8:43 left in this one. LSU 34-25 lead and a 2nd and 10 for the Razorbacks. Arkansas has won 6 in succession. Matt Jones goes deep. Picked off. Ryan Clark.
I've made the point before. This is an offense that's one-man route. That's all it is. These guys, nobody else is going out for a pass. So you can afford to get somebody under the coverage. That's what Ryan Clark does. He gets underneath this throw and makes the pick, because there's no other receivers on the play. It's one man out, but Ryan Clark ends up getting the double coverage and the interception.
That is the 2nd pick for LSU today. Kendrick Allen had the other. First down inside the 20 for LSU. Davey, Tofield, into the end zone, touchdown. And LeBrandon Tofield has set a new single-season LSU scoring record. That's 18 for the year.
Like a heavyweight fighter, stagger him with the interception and then knock him out with the play up the gut. Excellent execution. Pierce and Jason Baggett on the right side, and Tofield cruises into the end zone.
Extra point from Corbello is good. 3 touchdowns for the afternoon for LeBrandon Tofield. .21 to go in this one. LSU has jumped out to a 16-point edge now as John Corbello gets set to kick off. LeBrandon Tofield, 172 yards, 3 touchdowns. Gets to rest for a bit. Here's Corbello's kick. Birmingham at the 2. What an open field tackle. Ryan O'Neal with the tackle.
Ryan O'Neal made the tackle, but a little too much showboating after the play. Matt Jones on the sideline after that interception, and he has made very few mistakes this year. More big plays than big mistakes.
Unsportsmanlike conduct against LSU, 15-yard penalty.
Now you penalize 15 yards for unsportsmanlike conduct. Dead ball foul. First down.
Well.
He got on TV.
Yes, he did. The Hardy Nickerson look. Here's Clark going left, sliding catch made by Richard Smith, number 8. Now let's take a look at the CBS Sportsline stat of the game: points off turnovers.
At the Arkansas.
But Vern, I want to write something up here. The LSU 36. Arkansas had 5 turnovers, and their average starting position was the LSU 36-yard line, and that's all they came up with is 19 points. part of that goes to Nick Saban's defense. They played defense when they had to.
For complete college football coverage, go to cbs.sportsline.com or AOL, keyword CBS Sportsline. Here's a double reverse. Howard is back, number 5, and throws it to Zach Clark. That's good to the 41. That'll be a first down. They'll stop the clock as they move the chain with 7:33 to go in this one.
Clark, the quarterback.
A couple of pretty decent golfers in attendance today. One enjoying this more than another. John Daly's on the Arkansas sideline. David Toms and his wife Sonia are in the stands. They're season ticket holders at LSU. Made a trip back from Hawaii. Skipped Thanksgiving, spent it on an airplane to get back for this game. I guess they'll have a little turkey tonight.
But they don't have turducken like we did.
That one is complete.
Nice throw.
George Wilson.
I credit Zach Clark coming cold off the bench here late in the game, delivering the nice pass to George Wilson. Wilson's a nice big target running down the defense, and Ryan Clark, the interception a moment ago, this time a hair late getting to the football.
7 minutes to go. 3 wide receivers. Fred Talley is the only setback. Clark from the backside, hit and drop, incomplete pass. This ball is dead. Jarvis Green got there.
The LSU coaches were trying to call a timeout before this play even started. They didn't like how they were set up, but Jarvis Green from the backside almost forces the fumble. It's ruled incomplete. Zach Clark held on to it a little bit too long, and the arm was coming forward. I think that's the right call.
Second down, 10 at the Tiger 11-yard line.
Wilson left, Smith right, Howard in the slot, and Talley the setback. Clark throws it incomplete. Nobody open. Sparky Hamilton was the other wide receiver.
Well, he had Hamilton right away. I mean, I don't know if Zach didn't see him, but he's the tallest receiver out here. Here's Hamilton. Watch him run the quick post, and he's open as soon as he makes his cut. Watch. He breaks. He's open. There's no middle defender, but Zach Clark couldn't find him.
And that brings up third down. A 16-point margin.
Third down, 10. Tiger 11-yard line.
Clark is back. Trev Falk comes at him. The catch is made. Diving try.
Short pass, complete.
They say anyone, what do they call him?
I haven't seen a touchdown indication yet. They're going to spot the ball for the try.
Third down and long, and they go play action. You don't expect to fool many people, but the crossing route mixed up the LSU defense. He's able to find Wilson on the crossing route. Now let's see, does he get in? Ball what?
They've ruled him out of bounds.
No, it's a touchdown.
Okay, there was no indication of a touchdown by any of the officiating crew.
For the third time, they're going for 2, though.
Knocked down. Flag is down. Lavallee. Now we're being told there was an official on the right side that did signal touchdown.
Extra point is no good.
Wilson with the excellent effort.
He is no good. Holding against Arkansas.
There we go.
Okay.
There he is.
Got into the crowd, didn't see him. Yep. Wilson with the TD. 41-31.
Nice response by Zach Clark. Now you would expect onside kick here for Arkansas, trailing by 10. LSU, all their guys up, expecting it as well.
For the Razorbacks.
O'Donohoe instead sends it deep. And Dominic Davis goes back. Oh, my goodness.
Not a good decision.
What was he thinking?
Not a good decision at all. Down it, start on the 20. You got no return capabilities because everybody's up in anticipation of the onside kick. And that's exactly what Nick's going to tell us.
Birmingham made the tackle for the Razorbacks. First down.
Davis maybe is confused whether it was in the end zone, but right now, just down it. I mean, don't even come out of the end zone with it. Start at the 20. Instead, LSU with a 10-point lead starts on the 7.
At 6:19 to go in the clock. Arkansas scoring drive, 65 yards. LeBrandon Tofield, the running back, gets the handoff and gets it out to the 11-yard line. Jameer Gallen, number 39. Doubleheader for you Sunday on CBS. The NFL, most of you in the early time slot will see Pittsburgh at Tennessee. Others watch Miami, Buffalo, Seattle, KC, or Cincinnati, Cleveland. And then the late game features the Raiders in New York to take on the Giants. It all begins with the NFL today. Sunday, 12 noon.
Arkansas almost ran that play without their best defender. Jermaine Petty was late getting on the field and almost missed the play. Didn't miss that one, though.
And Tony Bua with the tackle as well. Let's check in once again with Jill Arrington.
Well, Rohan Davey, he's been fighting a virus all this week, and right now he's experiencing a little bit of cramping in his legs. They've been giving him IVs all week up to the game. They're trying to keep him hydrated, and he's going to get back in that game, but maybe that's why he's been a little out of focus. On Kendrick Allen, he hyperextended that knee on a few series ago, and the brace actually saved him. It bent backwards and saved the knee, so he should be back in the game.
All right, Jill, thank you. 3rd and 9 at the 8.
Arkansas hoping for a 3-and-out right here. They've got 3 timeouts. They don't want to have to start using them yet.
Davey from the end zone. Under pressure. Got him! Josh Reed, first down at the 30.
This guy, Rohan Davey, I love him. I really do. He is a competitor. He's thrown 4 picks. He's going to get hit right in the mouth by Kurt Davis. Out of his own end zone, he finds his guy, Josh Reed. Now, how Josh Reed gets behind your defense like that is a little bit of a question, but no question on the toughness of Rohan Davey.
See the numbers for Josh Reed. That's right at average for him this year. He's averaging 145 yards in receptions per game.
And now Arkansas's got to start thinking about when do they use their timeouts, because they've got to score twice. If they would have got the 3-and-out there and forced the punt, then they could have saved them. But now a little bit tougher, because LSU certainly wants to work the clock now. Use as much time as you can in the huddle if you're Rohan Davey. Tell your back, Tofield, get what you can get. Make sure you protect the football. But let's milk the clock as much as we can.
Second down, 8.
Second down, 8 with 4:12 to go. Tofield hit behind the line by Caleb Miller, number 43.
Tofield carried.
Now here's what's at stake. The SEC West. Auburn currently at 5-2. They come in here next week. Arkansas at 4-3. They must win today to have a chance to win the SEC West. Auburn wins if they win next week's game. Time has been called by Arkansas.
The Southeastern Conference, a tradition of excellence. SEC, celebrating 10 years of the conference championship game.
.358 to go. Somewhere up there is Alan Shepard's 6-iron. He put it on the moon about 30-some years ago. 41-31 the score here in the 4th quarter. Josh Reed 2,725 receiving yards in his career, and that is a new school record.
Not bad for a guy who was recruited as a running back, huh?
3rd down, 9. Arkansas brings 4, and they come from different directions. There's Reed, double coverage with Bua. Just does miss.
Davies' pass intended for Josh Reed is incomplete.
The only thing tough about that play for LSU is the clock stops. You know, you have a shot at it, and 3rd down has been the place where they've gotten their big play opportunities, but you help Arkansas by stopping the clock on that 3rd down and 9 incompletion. If you take a look at Rohan's numbers, another game over 300 yards, has battled back from the interceptions. That's the thing that you got to be impressed with, his ability to overcome the bad plays.
Donnie Jones will punt. They come after him. The catch is made by Jackson. Room to return it. Tackled at the 48. Saturday on CBS, the most famous reindeer of all is back. Don't miss this holiday classic. Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer, Saturday on CBS. Now, I bet your boys will watch that.
Oh, they do like Rudolph.
Okay.
Yeah.
And the Craig Silver family and the Bob Fishman family will watch as well.
Yeah, we like Rudolph.
Yeah. 1st and 10. Play fake. Zach Clark. Deep right side.
Oh,
what a catch.
Goodness.
What a catch by Wilson.
George Wilson. I mean, he spears it. I mean, he doesn't even bobble it or tip it to himself or anything. He snags the end of the football. That is an incredible catch.
At the Tiger 39-yard line.
We have seen some plays now today for Zach Clark. Only his 6th completion, but he's got Arkansas on the move again.
3:31 to go. The margin is 10. Play fake. Clark deep. He's got Smith, and good coverage from Damian James. Pass is incomplete.
Well, remember, you made the point earlier. The pass defense for LSU has been a problem. I mean, they've tried different people in there. They haven't been able to get great pressure on the quarterback. And right now, coming into the game, they were 10th in the SEC, 108th in the country, giving up 286 yards a game. And this is not a great passing team from Arkansas, but they're getting people open. And they got people open the whole game.
See the numbers, very average, 5 of 10 and 6 of 18. 4 receivers out this time. LSU brings 4. Clark settles for the short man, Birmingham, and Trev Falk is there to tackle him at the 34-yard line.
Nice play by Trev Falk, because if he breaks one tackle, Birmingham has some room to run. But tackling him like that short of the 1st down keeps the clock moving. It's getting ready to go under 3 minutes now, and Arkansas needs 2 scores.
3rd and 4. Right side again. They've got the 1st down, but he could not get out of bounds.
The clock stops while they move the chain,
right,
so he can get them set up.
George Wilson, Randall Gay.
They need to keep a sense of urgency here, because they've got to try to keep as much time on the clock as they can and hope they can get the ball back a 2nd time.
1st down and 10 at the 27-yard line.
See, now they're wasting a little time, changing the formation, and the clock is moving.
And time has been called by LSU. That's their first. 2:38 to go. Here's the trophy that's at stake, the Golden Boot, resembling the configuration of the adjacent states of Arkansas, Louisiana. 41-31 with 2:38 to go.
This is kind of unusual to me. You don't see this much in college football anymore. There's 2:38 to go. Arkansas down by 10, but you don't see the shotgun and spread out offense. You see regular personnel, a tight end, 2 backs, and only 2 receivers.
Play action for Clark. Goes left. And another fine catch by Wilson. He's out of bounds to stop the clock with 2:33 to go.
Nice looking young receiver. 6'1", 200 pounds, out of Paducah, Kentucky. Really coming into his own. See what he's done today. 116 yards and some spectacular catches.
And he has set a freshman receiving record for Arkansas in the process. Clark, right side, Hamilton's open, got it, touchdown.
Beat Randall Gay. We've talked about Rohan Davies' resiliency, his toughness. How about Zach Clark? How about Zach Clark coming off the bench? Hamilton working one-on-one against Randall Gay. The safety's going to help inside. And it's a little corner route. He turned him around, and a beautiful throw by Clark out over the outside shoulder. He found where the single was and got it to him.
The try for one is up and good, and the Razorbacks have clawed and scratched and gotten back to within 3.
And we got to remember, too, Arkansas has gone for 2 3 times and has missed it all 3 times. And they trail by 3 right now. Take a look at the touchdown again. Hamilton on Gay. Hamilton, a tall receiver at 6'4", throw it up over the outside, and he got the separation, and Clark made a super throw. What a resilient football team. I mean, this is a team, you wondered how much they had left in their tank, Vern. I mean, they've gone pretty much 4 weeks in a row down to the wire. They had the 7 overtime game against Ole Miss. Then they beat Central Florida 27-20, a game that went all the way into late in the game. Mississippi State last week, they had to come back to win in the last minute, 24-21. And now this one, going all the way down to the final 2 minutes.
Arkansas has 2 timeouts remaining. They trail by 3. They won 6 in a row. 5 of those games by 7 points or less. And now they are within 3.
Dominic Davis is deep in the Tigers.
Dominic Davis drifts back to the 15-yard line. And here's Carlton.
Don't kick it out of bounds. Okay.
That's a free ball. That is a free ball. No, it went out of bounds. Touchback.
First and 10 for the Tigers.
2:21 to go. LSU. Houston Nutt talked about how resilient his team has been.
We always saw improvement, and we kept telling them, hey, we're not far away. And with the seniors' help, staying together, kept believing, it became contagious that there's someone who's going to make a play. And we just felt like after the Weber State game, this is how you do it, this is how you execute, this is how you win, and we got on a roll.
LeBrandon Tofield.
Arkansas has 2 timeouts left that Houston Nutt has to decide when to use it. A good defensive play there on first down. Ideally, you'd like to have your timeouts on offense, but I don't think they're going to be afforded that luxury. I think they're going to have to use them on defense, but that first down stop was big. 2nd and 8, if they stop them here, they'll probably use one of those timeouts.
DiMaggio in the backfield. Here's Davey. Deep left side. Contact interference on Tony Bua.
Davy's pass intended for Josh Reed is incomplete at the 36-yard line.
Well, Tony Bua is just trying to recover because Josh Reed's wide open, and Bua is just running for his life and just pulls him with the left hand as he runs by. Arkansas not expecting pass at all, and Jimbo Fisher mixed them up again.
Defensive pass interference, either 15 yards or the flag, whichever comes first. First down.
You know, I'm really surprised that Arkansas didn't onside kick the last time. When they scored their first points and they decided to kick it deep, there were over 5 minutes left. But this time, with 2 minutes and some left, and they haven't really been able to stuff LSU's offense today. I'm a little surprised that they went ahead and kicked it deep. Now they've got themselves in a situation where, with 1:36, they've got to burn up their timeouts just to hope to get the ball back.
On first down, Tofield. Caleb Miller leads the charge. Timeout. Arkansas, they've got one left. Tonight is Fun for All Friday on CBS, beginning with the network premiere of the Rugrats movie, including never-before-seen footage, followed by a major concert event featuring In Sync with special guest Tim McGraw. That's tonight on CBS.
Yeah, I guess you could make the point that this is the most significant win that Nick Saban has had here at LSU because of what's at stake. And those guys up front for LSU, the offensive line, I think has done an excellent job today. Their quarterback, Rohan Davey, hasn't had one of his better days, but they opened up a lot of holes for LeBrandon Tofield. They've controlled things for the most part at the line of scrimmage. They've got 41 points on the board. It's interesting. You were talking about if LSU holds on and wins and they play Auburn next week. Next week becomes like a pair of semifinal games. LSU and Auburn to see who represents the West. Tennessee and Florida to see who represents the East in Atlanta. Not a playoff, but it's pretty close.
Second down and 12. LSU leading by 3. Tofield. Again, contact made behind the line. And the final timeout for Houston Nutt and the Arkansas Razorbacks.
Teddy made the tackle. Timeout. Razorbacks.
41-38. Houston Nutt in his 4th year at Arkansas. Nick Saban, 2nd season at LSU. Came here after a 5-year run at Michigan State. And this is his 3rd head coaching stop. Had a 1-year stint at Toledo back in 1990. Then went into the NFL as a defensive coordinator at Cleveland. 5 years at Michigan State and came down to Baton Rouge last season.
I tell you what, I have a lot of respect for him and for this team, because when they lost to Ole Miss earlier in the year, and they got ripped apart by the folks here and the media and the talk radios and everybody, you know, even though right now coming into today's game they had the same record as they had last year. Last year it was filled with positives. This year a real negative slant when anybody talked about the team. And the biggest difference was the expectations. People expected them to be better this year, to have a much better team, and they've been able to weather that storm and put themselves in this position today.
And they lead now, does LSU, 41-38 with 1:25 to go. Looking at a 3rd and 13.
I'll be really surprised if they throw this, because
here's the surprise. Across the middle. Good for the first down. Plus.
Unless, of course, you know you're going to complete it to Josh Reed. I'm sitting here thinking Arkansas's got no timeouts left. If you run it and then punt, even if they get it back, they're not going to have much time. But Josh Reed beats Richardson on the in route, and Davey with a big throw at a big time.
First down, 31 yards.
Kid's made some big throws today.
36-yard line.
And that should do it. LSU stays alive. Josh Reed, LeBrandon Tofield offensively. Trev Falk on the other side of the ball. They are at home against Auburn next Saturday. If LSU wins that, they will be in the SEC championship game. Josh Reed, 7 catches, 183 yards. Jill, 30 carries, 173 yards. And Louisiana State University wins by 3. And our Army player of the game, 3 touchdowns today, 173 yards, 18 for the season, and LSU single-season record. Number 22, LeBrandon Tofield. Let's go down to Jill with Nick Saban.
Coach Saban, you fought through 5 turnovers for this victory. Tell me about the resiliency this team has shown all season.
Well, you know, you always talk about playing for 60 minutes, and they certainly did that. But I said at halftime that we needed to eliminate the turnovers, and we did get it done. But we got the lead, and we couldn't hold them in 2 minutes. So we just didn't play as well on defense at the end. But you got to give Arkansas a lot of credit. It was a great win for us, and I'm really happy and proud of our players.
We've never won the SEC West, so talk to me about the game next week against Auburn.
Well, you know, I think we should enjoy this one for a little bit. I mean, I'm exhausted, and we'll take on Auburn when the time comes.
All right, Coach, well, good luck to you.
Thank you.
All right, Jill, thank you. Thank Nick Saban. Congratulations to LSU. They defeat Arkansas 41-38 in the Battle of the Boot.